camera back on. Oh, now it's not cropped correctly on my OBS. Cool. I love how when that happens. It's my favorite. All right, there you go.
Yeah, isn't that great?
I fixed it. All right. Yeah. Okay, cool. And it even has the little lines around us when we talk, which is kind of nice, I think. All right.
Oh, it does? Sweet.
Oh, yeah. It feels like it's been a long time since we did the show. I know we do it every month, but maybe this has been 5 weeks instead of 4.
Yeah, it might be something like that. At least since we last recorded, because let me take a look at a calendar really quick, because I think that might be right. I think it has been a little bit longer since our actual last recording. It has been. I think it's almost been 6 weeks, actually.
Yeah, that's why it feels a little like it's been a bit,
Yeah. Because didn't we record like right after Christmas?
I think so. And it's like basically almost February now, so yeah.
Right.
So I guess it's been a month. I don't know. This month has felt like it's been way too fucking long with all the bullshit going on in the world and dealing with work stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah. In January, I don't know. I always fucking hate January, man. It's so cold and it's just fucking miserable outside and I don't like it. And I would rather just sleep through all of January. But also, like, right after we recorded last, I had the injury with my foot, and so I was off work for a little while, and that got me all fucked up on shit. And yeah, this month has not been great so far. Well, it's at the end of the month, so it's not been great.
That's fair. Well, I mean, this will be fun, so we can do this. Something to look. I guess I'm ready to record. If you want to actually start doing the podcast, I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I think I'm hearing our buddy Brizz's intro coming in right now. We're recording a podcast. You hear it?
It is indeed. Yeah, I hear it. I hear it in my mind. I don't remember what it sounds like at all, so I'm just gonna
something like that.
Yeah, Brizz's music is Super Mario World.
Okay. Well, welcome to the month of Mishap. We're back for another month. How's it going, Chris? I'm Josh. That's Chris. How are you? As you sip on your
question right as I'm drinking Mountain Dew.
Your Baja Blast over there.
Yeah. It had to be Baja Blast. So it was actually a debate of whether I wanted regular Mountain Dew or Baja Blast, but I don't really drink pop like ever anymore. But I needed some caffeine and I didn't want to make another pot of coffee, so Baja Blast it was, since I was already at Taco Bell.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with Baja Blast. I remember when like the Baja Blast came to cans and bottles. It was like the most exciting thing for me during 10 years ago when that happened. I was like,
man,
hell
people
yeah.
Freaked out.
Yeah,
people freaked out. It was crazy. But yeah, I don't really drink pop like ever anymore.
Right.
Because I used to drink like fucking 10 Mountain Dews a day or whatever, and a few energy drinks and all that, and it was just like it got to be too much, and so I stopped. And so I just don't really drink them anymore, but every once in a while. So I'll have like 3 of them a year, and that's it.
Yeah, I'll do the zero sugar. I people say it's worse for you than regular sugar. I don't know, but I'll do like my energy drinks are always zero sugar, and then I'll have those like almost every work day, and then occasionally on the weekend. So that's bad, probably. I don't know. And then when it comes to like regular sodas, I'll do like a Mountain Dew zero sugar or zero sugar. What is it? Dr. Pepper Zero or something once in a while too. So I don't know if that's good or bad, but I mean, I drink a ton of water too, so it balances out, right?
Yeah, I think so. and I drink water like all day, every day while I'm at work. So I mean, I usually go through like 64 ounces of water easily because I always have a 32-ounce cup with me.
Yeah,
and I fill that up before I leave the house, and then usually halfway through my day, I fill it up again.
Yeah, I have like a thermos that's, I think it's 25 ounce, maybe it's 32. It might be 32, but I fill that up like 2 or 3 times a day. I have a couple of. It's one of those things. I'm in my truck driving around the city all day, so I know where all the good like water fountains are. I know where all the places to fill up are and the bathrooms are, because like if I didn't, I'd be kind of screwed. So I'll
Right.
occasionally go to a water fountain and just fill that thing up like a couple times a day. So yeah, I try to be hydrated too. It's important.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know. Other than water, I really don't like. I drink coffee, water, and beer, and like that's it. Normally, like that's all I normally drink. And I'm trying to cut back on the beer a little bit. Like I've got one sitting next to me for when this Mountain Dew is done. But um, so I've been trying to I've been trying to find something else to drink when like I don't want to just drink water, which is weird to think about, right?
Right.
Um, so but like I don't want caffeine most of the time. So I've been trying different sparkling waters with just like a little bit of flavor in them, like LaCroix and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Do you like
And
those? How do you feel about
they're
the
okay.
right?
It's better than nothing.
Yeah. What when I was trying to like stop drinking alcohol, just like like 5-ish years ago, I was like, what can I do to like get that sparkliness in my mouth? I guess. So
Yeah.
I drink a ton of sparkling water. I even have one of those. I think it was 2 Christmases ago. I got a Soda Stream where you put the
Mhm.
CO2 in there and do your own flavors and stuff.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's it's not sugary or anything, but it's like I'm still getting my water in there, even though it's like
Right.
sparkling. Yeah. So yeah,
I mean, it's still water, even though it is carbonated. The carbonation doesn't do anything except give it bubbles. So
exactly. Got to get that spiciness, man, in your mouth. So yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so I mean that's it. That's all that things have been going on for me. But I watched so many fucking movies, man,
I
because
see that.
I was just like sitting on the couch and like halfway in between consciousness part of the time, and just you can't do much when you can't walk. So like you just sit on the couch and you watch stuff or play video games. So I kind of rotate back and forth between watching stuff and playing video games.
Yeah. So I guess we can jump into what we've been watching. Do you want to start us off with whatever you want to start with here?
Um Yeah, let me talk about some anime movies that I watched. So there was a movie that released on Netflix at the beginning of the month called 100 Meters, and it was pretty good. I liked it. It is about professional runners. So it kind of reminded me of that one like 5-minute video from the middle of the Animatrix about the
Mm.
sprinter.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a full 90-minute movie of like almost that level of animation.
I love the Animatrix, by the way. That's so
I
good.
know it's so good. um but I don't know, it was good, but it wasn't like anything special. Like I don't know if I'd go out of my way to watch it again, but like if you like sports anime, you'll probably have a good time with it. It was fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went to the movie theater because Gundam Wing Endless Waltz was playing in the theater. Um there's what the hell is the name of that company? It's like Fandango.
Fandango, I think
I don't
so.
remember.
Yeah.
Um, and they do like so they'll do screenings of older movies and whatnot at the theaters, um, on a semi-regular basis. And so the AMC down the road for me had Gundam Wing Endless Waltz, and then it was which is what I really wanted to go see and what my girlfriend really wanted to go see, and also Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans, the Urdr hunt, which to be clear, I have never actually sat down and watched any Mobile Suit Gundam. So like it's a big blind spot for me in like the realm of anime.
I'm surprised. I feel like you're a
I know.
very Gundam coded person, to be honest.
I I've watched so many other mech animes and just haven't gotten around to actually watching Mobile Suit Gundam for any
Right.
reason, and I don't really know why. So this is my first time watching anything like actually Gundam, and so it started with the Udar hunt, and like That was okay. It's about this kid who he's living on like essentially I don't know if it's like a slave colony or a prison colony on Venus, and
Hmm.
like the whole colony is relatively poor, and the hunt is to like a scavenger hunt across the galaxy, and whoever wins like $100 billion, whatever the currency is in the world. Like it's legitimately life-changing money. And this kid, he just wants to win so that he can buy the colony so that the people that live there can have a better life than what they have right now. And so like that inspires some of the other people that are competing to like join up with him. And like it's a good lighthearted fun time, and
Hmm.
but it's also it's got like some cool mechs. Like some of the Gundams are pretty cool. There's actually one, I don't remember the name of it, but I'm looking for a Gunpla model kit of it because it's just really cool style. It's like really like bulbous and round and weird looking, and I really dig that. Um,
Yeah.
so like that's cool. So I'll buy that Gunpla whenever I find a one of it. But then Endless Waltz is like a legitimate war story and like really, really, really fucking good.
Gets
I
into
don't
like
know if I
the real like feeling of war that you get from
Yep.
just yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. The that first movie is like I said, it's pretty lighthearted. Endless Waltz is not very lighthearted at all. Like it's telling a much more grounded story, and it was kind of crazy to me like seeing the contrast between the two. Like the first one, it's like, it was fun, and it was like kind of like I wasn't looking at my phone, but it also didn't feel like I 100% needed to pay attention to what was going on screen. And
Gotcha.
then Endless Waltz started, and it was just like immediately drawn in.
You're just like,
I was
I'm
just like,
locked in for this, right?
yeah. And being in the theater with a bunch of other nerds who also like the thing, that helps a little bit.
True.
But yeah, that was really cool. Really, really good way to start my journey through Mobile Suit Gundam. So I'll be watching more at some point. I just don't know when.
Nice. I have never seen any Gundam anything. I mean, it just
Mhm.
seems cool as hell, and there's a
Right.
lot of it. So obviously it'd be one of those
Yes.
things where it's like once you start, it's like okay, you got decades of material to get through, right?
Oh,
Basically,
yeah, like
yeah,
4 decades worth of material because it
yeah.
started back in the 80s. So, and like I like building Gunpla. Like you might be able to see over here on my table. I have some Gunpla, and I have the torso of a guy built right now, and I haven't done any more work on it yet. But yeah, so like I enjoy building the models, but this is my first time actually sitting down and watching any of it. So, good time.
Hell yeah.
You would probably like Endless Waltz. I think
I
everybody would probably like Endless Waltz.
from what I'm looking at on just like kind of like looking on Google and IMDb and
Mhm.
stuff, it just seems like it's kind of one of those. It's like it's a real personal like people storyline about war and
Yeah.
stuff, which that's gonna hit home for anybody. So
Yeah. Yeah. I can't really go deep on the plot. Uh just because like that was 4 weeks ago when
right,
it was in the theater. So I also I didn't drive, so there's the one thing. But I also brought a flask of whiskey with me and just drank that while I was sitting in the theater because
there you go.
I don't want to pay theater prices for drinks.
Yeah,
So
$9 Miller Lights and stuff like that, right?
right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So I guess I'll jump into something I've been watching. I'll start with
Yeah,
my
yeah,
TV.
go ahead.
I'll start with my TV stuff. We watched The Studio, the first season of that, which is Seth Rogen and his producer Evan Goldberg. They do a lot of stuff together. They did The Boys and a bunch of other stuff together.
Okay.
But the premise of The Studio is Seth Rogen is basically this higher up executive in Hollywood trying to get like basically become the best, you know, he's kind of in between trying to not sell out and also make art films at the same time. And the whole thing is they are making the Kool-Aid movie. That's the whole premise of the first season. A lot of actors come in, a lot of cameos, including rest in peace Catherine O'Hara. She was in this series and she's really good, which really sucked. She literally passed away yesterday, and that really. That's such a bummer, man. She's so good. Like even in this,
Yeah,
like
she was great. You know, she had so many great roles. I think the first thing I ever saw her in was Beetlejuice, but you know, Home Alone was also
Home Alone,
like,
yeah,
huge.
yeah,
So
yeah. Just
yeah, she was great.
Schitt's Creek. I don't know. Have you ever watched Schitt's Creek, the show?
No, I've seen a few episodes here and there, but I never actually sat down to watch it.
Yeah,
It's one of those things where like it was just like on at some friends' houses from time to time, you know?
Right. Yeah, it's one of those shows that's like it's really good, but I mean, it's like Dan and Eugene Levy's like Baby, like that's their show, but it wouldn't be that show without her because she's so funny and so good in it, you know? Like nobody else could play Moira shit, I guess. I think that's her last name. In this series, quite as good. So, yeah. It's
right.
Like yeah, anyway, the studio itself, the show, I enjoyed it. I think that it kind of goes up its own ass a little bit at times because it's like, oh, I'm a Hollywood guy talking about Hollywood reps. You know, there's a whole episode where they're like in a fake Emmy situation or like Grammy situation. Not Grammy. It must have been Emmys, something like that. And the funny part is the show won an Emmy. It was like the same thing at the end when they went and did that. It's funny. It's like one of those one where they're kind of like making fun of themselves and the industry. So if that's your bag, I think you're gonna have a good time. But it's pretty good. It's a pretty good Apple. I feel like when I watch an Apple TV show, my expectation level now after seeing a few of them is like they're gonna be pretty good. Like they're gonna be like the upper tier of like TV in the modern day. So. Yeah. Did you? My question is, I didn't write it here on the TV shows because did you watch Stranger Things 5 yet? I didn't want to spoil anything or talk about it if you haven't seen it.
No, I haven't gotten around to it. Me and my girlfriend have watched every season of Stranger Things together, and like our work schedules aren't really lining up right now because she's just got a new job, and so. When I have a bunch of free time on the weekends, she's at work or wanting to sleep. And when she has free time during the week, I am getting home from work and like not necessarily wanting to sit down and binge watch a show. So
gotcha.
We wanted to watch it together and just haven't gotten to it yet.
Yeah, when you do, I do want to have that like spoiler conversation about that one. So I didn't leave it. Sure. I didn't even put it on the list because I was like, I figured you haven't seen it yet, so I didn't want to spoil anything or ruin anything for you. So, yeah.
Right.
I will mention one more, and then we'll jump back to you. We watched the last season of Queer Eye. Did you know Queer Eye was a thing in 2026? Or Queer Eye for a straight guy back in the day?
I knew it came back in, like, maybe around COVID? Is that right? Does that sound right?
I think so.
Maybe slightly before?
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah. It's been around for 6 or 7 years. Mm-hmm. So I like shows like this. It's like a reality show. Obviously, it's kind of like a makeover show, make somebody's life better, etc. Like someone's not feeling themselves. They're down in the dumps. Something's going on in their lives. And then these people come in and help them out. And, 5 guys, there's a guy that's more clothing centric, like style, and then there's a makeover person that gives them like a haircut and refreshes their look, and then there's somebody that like comes in their house and like does their entire house or apartment or wherever they live. And it's just a feel good show. Like you just see them, and it's just a fun passive entertainment type of thing. But also I feel that when I come out of these episodes and I see these people feel better about themselves. I can relate to all these people that are down in the dumps having hard times that get this Netflix makeover, you know. So
Right.
it's a good time from that perspective, you know.
Yeah, so one of the things that always kind of bothered me about like especially the more like home makeover type shows is like
Right.
they'll go into somebody's house and like completely redecorate and sometimes make it feel like almost sterile and
Yeah.
like it's like you took all the personality out of the place. Like this person loves movies and they had all their movie posters up and you took them all down. Like why would you do that? Like that seems a little fucked up, don't you think?
Yeah. I do think that they do strike that balance pretty good in this, but on the
Mhm.
other hand, I can agree with that where sometimes it's like this lived in home. It's like you could tell this is like a house they've had for 15 years or something. Like this is a lived
Right.
in home with multi-generational things. They start changing things and you're like it kind of looks staged, or like you're going to IKEA walking through those like, you know, pre-made rooms that
Mhm.
IKEA has. Like who has a bowl of artichokes and passion fruit in their kitchen just for looks, you know what I mean, just for the camera, you know.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
stuff like that. um but on the other hand, the personal side of it is they do help they I feel like this strikes the balance of that, like where they do help these people in their personal lives and provide for them a bit.
Right.
But you know, you can be cynical watching these, be like, you know, like it's a Netflix thing. They're trying to play it up for a show. But I do
Right.
think that most of these people come out on the other side positive. So we watched that. It was good. I enjoyed my time with it. So I'm a little sad that it's gone. I actually like watching that with my partner and, you know, just talking about the person and seeing what the makeover is going to look like. You know, I feel
Mhm.
like, yeah, it's a pretty solid show. So yeah.
Right on. To segue from that into nothing in any way related to it, I
Fair.
have been watching an anime called Vandread, which is a mech anime from 2001. And the whole premise of this is that humans have completely left Earth and like something happened to Earth. Earth is gone, I think. I don't know. I'm not finished with it. But nobody goes back to Earth, as far as I'm aware. And now men and women are living completely separate from one another and are completely different societies. And the whole premise of the show is that this group of women pirates attack this like male spaceship, kill most of the people, but then capture a few of the men, and then those men are now living among this on this pirate spaceship full of women. And hijinks ensue, and the main character that I cannot remember his name, he is like uh he it was not like in any part of his society that was like worthwhile, and he was trying to like make changes, but like his society didn't allow people to like move up the social ladder into like higher social ranks, so he like
Hmm.
steals a mech, and you know, now he's automatically the most skilled mech pilot of all time because he stole it. So, you know, that's kind of bullshit.
Hmm.
But his mech can merge with the women's mechs and they fuse together, which is a really unsubtle way of saying that these people want to fuck.
They want snoo snoo, right?
Yeah, they want the snoo snoo.
Yeah.
Um yeah,
That
it's just
that's what popped in my head was the Futurama episode when you were talking about this.
yeah. Um and then the main like overarching plot is that there's like this alien race that is going around all of these other planets and like just wiping out all of the humans that are on those planets, and they're trying to defeat this alien that seems to be almost completely machines. Like they haven't found any organic aliens in this in all of the times that they fought against these things. Um yeah, it's a weird show, man. It's got The mechs are pretty cool, but they're mostly 3D animated instead of hand drawn. And so it's like that really early 2000s 3D animation where everything is like super smooth and doesn't have any texture on it because it's from 2001, you know?
Does it at least look good?
It looks fine.
Yeah, for the time. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks fine. It feels a little uncanny at times where you're it's switching back and forth between like the actual hand-drawn animation of the characters and then cutting to the 3D ships and everything, but there's like a whole era in the mid 2000s where anime was trying to merge with 3D animation in some weird ways, and sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't. And I feel like this one it works because it's just the mechs, I guess. But yeah, I like it. I'm about halfway through it. It's 26 episodes, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Two 13-episode seasons, and I'm at like episode 10, I think.
Nice.
So yeah, I'll probably have this finished by the time we record next. Whenever I do sit down to watch it, it's not the kind of thing where I can just like watch one episode and be done with it. I usually sit down and I watch like 3 to 5 episodes at a time. So yeah, I'm having a pretty good time with it. It's one that I've known about for a while and just never got around to for whatever reason.
Yeah, you speaking of the like combination of like flat, like, you know, general like classic animation versus like the CG. It reminds me of that movie. Have you ever seen Titan AE?
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of.
I saw that in theaters when it was new.
Yeah, that I feel like that's the first time that I've seen that, like that style of animation. When I was a kid, I was like, this is cool because it's a combination of both. You know what I mean? So, but yeah,
I've been wanting to watch that again. It's one of those movies where like I always see it at stores for really cheap, and I just never pick it up because I always find something else that I want to watch. And whenever I'm shopping for DVDs, I usually like try and budget myself. That way I don't go into a store and just pick up like fucking 30 DVDs. So
that's fair.
I'll try and be like, well, I'm only going to spend like $40 today, you know?
Yeah.
So I have to pick and choose between what I find. And that one just always ends up getting put back because I'm like, I don't know if this is going to hold up. So I just haven't gotten around to watching it again.
I haven't watched it since I was in high school, so who knows? You know, it's been 20 years or something, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that movie came out. I think that came out in either 2000 or 2001. So I was in middle school when I saw that.
Middle school. 2000. Did it come out that long ago? I mean, I'm sure I've watched it a couple times since it came out, but yeah. All right. Do you want me to pick?
That's it. Go ahead. That's all I got for anime. No more anime today. That's it.
I was looking at this. I was like, there's not many. Most of these are other types of movies. Anyway, okay. So I have a couple more TV shows. I will run through a couple here. Fear Factor came back with Johnny Knoxville as the host. Did you see that?
Yeah, it did. I saw that it came back. I did not watch it because I don't really watch reality TV.
As you can tell, that we watch some here and there.
Yeah.
As we're doing other things or whatever, but or we're eating dinner. You know, it's like, you know what? We're not eating at the dinner table today. We're gonna watch some corny TV. This is exactly that. It's corny TV. So Fear Factor with Joe Rogan back in the day, you know, they did the things where it's like this crazy challenges and stuff. This one is even more of a reality show because they have the Fear Factor home or the Fear house or something like that, where they have the drama in between the challenges, which is like, to me, I don't care about the drama. Like they go and they're like,
right.
Like, oh, Sally thinks this and Greg's thinking this and I can't believe he's betraying me. And they're trying to build all this drama and tension and stuff that isn't real at all. Right. The challenges themselves, they're Fear Factor challenges. They have people being vacuum sealed into plastic with hoses in their mouth trying to survive for like, you know, claustrophobia challenges. They have the recent one they had people basically crawling through a snake pit with a dead rat in their dead rat's tail in their mouth with the snakes trying to attack them and stuff, and doing that 4 times, and whoever does it the most wins. And then of course they have like
I don't
the
think I'd want to put a rat's tail in my mouth. Like I would
no.
crawl through the pit of snakes, but
Yeah,
not a dead rat's tail.
that's the part I was like, I'm good. I deal with dead rats,
Right.
Exterminator guy over here. I deal with dead rats enough. I don't need them in my mouth. I'm good.
Right. Yeah.
Also, they did one where it was like the milkshakes with like cheap gallbladders and like, just gross stuff and basically blended. Johnny Knoxville laughing like he always does about everything anyway, as he blends up like the most gross concoctions you've ever seen, so it's stupid fun times. There's no real content in this show. It's just stupid times.
Yeah. Has anybody had to eat a cockroach yet?
Honestly, they've done no cockroach stuff yet, so I feel like that's about to happen soon. It has to, right? It's part of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that's like the main ththing I remember from Fear Factor was like people having to eat hissing cockroaches.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, I guess.
Yeah, they've done like a fire challenge where they had to like rappel down and smash through like a wall with flames and then climb up a rope ladder. They've done some fun challenges. It's like it's fine. This is all passive entertainment, obviously. And then the other passive entertainment I'll bring up, since we're talking about dumb reality shows, is we're watching Beast Games. We watched the first season, which is Mr. Beast's Amazon Prime reality show. I'm sure you don't care at all about this. Nope.
I've never watched a Mr. Beast video. I'm never going to watch a Mr. Beast video. I give a fuck less about anything that man does.
I pretty much am in the same boat as you. The show is another thing where we're just throwing out on like probably playing handheld game consoles or something, while we're watching it.
Yeah.
But it's dumb. They're trying to, I think it's $5 million is the prize pool, which is crazy. But some of these challenges are just stupid. Like, okay, there's a group of like 50 people, right? And then they put them in these rooms with multiple rooms with 3 people in each room, and then one person has to go from each room, and they just sit in there and figure out who's gonna basically self-eliminate themselves. I'm like, this is not really a challenge. This is just like torturing people for like 20 hours plus, in these rooms, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very fun.
Yeah, that's one of the challenges. The other one, the one that I saw a couple episodes ago, was basically like a wipeout, like that show Wipeout challenge, where they have to get through like an obstacle course. So it's like a mixture of a bunch of reality shows together. Sometimes I don't really agree with the way he does challenges. I feel like it's like human suffering the challenge sometimes, which I don't really like as much, So it is what it is.
Look, just give me Ninja Warrior. All right, like just let people run across a fucking insane obstacle course and let me watch them fall and hit their balls on like a rod,
Yeah,
make it fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say it's never fun. There's fun parts, and ironically, there's like 4 Ninja Warriors in this season, which is kind of fun, like American Ninja Warriors. So, but I remember back in the day, like when I was a teen, watching G4 TV, and they would have the Japanese Ninja Warrior like on all the time, and I loved it.
With the
I used to
terrible dub over the Japanese announcers. Like, you could hear the Japanese sometimes, but then they had like just an absolutely god awful dub over it.
They had the god awful dub, and then they also had sometimes late at night they would just have the Japanese announcers with the subtitles, which I just loved it. There was one time they had a guy from America. His name was Levi something, and the announcer kept going, Levi. I just for some reason that stuck in my brain forever from that show. But anyway, I loved American Ninja Warrior and Ninja Warrior Classic. So it's like this has some of that feeling, but also they try to YouTubeize it a lot, which everybody has their opinions on that for sure.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and it's like, I'm sorry, I know you're a billionaire, but you don't gotta like, oh, I got $500,000 I can give this guy if you do this. It's like, are you going to make yourself suffer for the next 20 hours? You know, that's the feeling I get sometimes, and that doesn't
Right.
make me feel good watching it. So, but yeah, it's passive entertainment when it comes down to it. So,
Yeah. I guess I could have put on here also that like I've been what was I watching? Like I've still been watching some episodes of Cheers,
yeah.
which is just like I don't need to fucking talk about Cheers again. Like everybody knows what this show is. It's from
Mm-hmm.
the fucking 80s. It's just something for me to have on in the background while I play my Switch. Um, Same thing with like Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I started that over again and just
Oh,
started
hell
back at
yeah.
the first season. But like, I don't need to talk about the first 10 episodes of Aqua Teen. It's fucking Aqua Teen. It's funny, you know?
It's good. It holds up. It's like I've been thinking about rewatching Home Movies recently because
Oh,
I
it's so
love
good. I
that
love Home
movie. Oh, the
Movies
show.
so
I mean,
much.
yeah, it's one of my favorite shows, like maybe ever. And it's like the same creative people that made Bob's Burgers, which
Yeah.
I know, but when you go back and rewatch those old episodes, you're like, I could see that type of humor, like going forward into Bob's Burgers, which is really cool too. So
Yeah.
yeah,
They have the guy who made Bob's Burgers. He has another show. I think it's either on Amazon or it's on Apple. I don't remember which.
is it the Central Park show or whatever?
I think
That's a
so. Yeah.
I watched a few episodes. It's like a musical, which is kind of interesting to me.
I mean, a lot like midway through Bob's Burgers, like around season 6 or 7, that show turns into a musical where every episode they're singing at least one song.
Yeah, I know.
So,
And then the movie, the Bob's. Did you watch a Bob's Burgers movie ever?
oh
That's a
yeah, of
musical
course,
too. Yeah, that's a musical
yeah,
too. The whole, through and through. So yeah, that DNA's there.
yeah. God, I love Bob's Burgers. That's one of those shows that's kind of just passively on in the background while we're doing stuff all the time.
Yeah,
So
I feel like
I think we talked about that on our first episode.
yeah, like Bob's Burgers is probably one of those shows where there's no bad episodes, right? Like I can't
Yep.
think of a bad episodes of that show. Like I can think of episodes that aren't good as others, but I'm not going to be like I don't want to watch that because they're all good, you know. Baseline, yeah.
Yeah. They're all good. All right, I'm gonna split my movies into a few different sections here, and we're gonna
Sure.
start with some action movies that I watched. I watched the Fugitive from the mid '90s. So
Yep.
Harrison Ford and Tommy Lee Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, this is just one of the most fun action movies from that era. It's so good. I feel like a lot of times it gets overlooked. Like obviously it doesn't. It's extraordinarily famous. Fucking Tommy Lee Jones' line of "I don't care" is
Mm-hmm.
like endlessly memed online. So like people know about this movie. Everybody's fucking seen it. Or if you grew up in the '90s, you probably saw it. Um, and yeah, it's really good, man. It's really fun going back and slowly rebuilding this collection of action movies from the late '80s and '90s that I used to have on VHS, and now I'm trying to get them on DVD because I've just been like in a mood, you know.
Yeah, I got you.
Um, but yeah, Harrison Ford is a fugitive. He's like accused of a murder, and he escapes from prison because of like he was like on a transport bus, and some of the other prisoners were trying to escape, so he just like escapes with them
Mm-hmm.
as some other people die, and Tommy Lee Jones is trying to hunt him down, and in that process, Harrison Ford's character is also like trying to prove his innocence. Um, yeah, it's just a fucking fun movie, man. It's a
It's
really good
great.
time.
It's a classic for sure. I watched that when I was like a kid, you know, like
Yep.
a baby. I don't know if I've seen it since then, but the thing I think about from this movie a lot is I'm a big fan of the show Scrubs. Did you ever watch Scrubs when it was out or no?
I mean, a little bit. Like, who didn't
Yeah.
watch Comedy Central from time to time?
Yeah.
You know?
So the janitor in there, the actor is Neil Flynn. He is
Mhm.
an extra in The Fugitive. So there's a whole episode of Scrubs where JD, the main character, is like, "Is that you in The Fugitive?" You know, like that's a whole like plot line in Scrubs. So that when I think of the Fugitive, I think of that episode of Scrubs because like that guy's he's just like a dude in the subway. He's just like a
Right.
an extra in there. Just really funny. It's just so random. But that movie is really freaking good. Like it's a classic for a reason.
Yep. Yeah. It's really fun. And then we watched some movies in the Discord, and I'm only gonna talk about one of them because it's the only one that I felt like was worth talking about, and that's
Yeah.
the Max Payne movie. And man, I tell you what, that movie's a lot better than people give it credit for.
It has
I
a,
really enjoyed this.
it has a Mila
Um,
Kunis in it and Ludacris and Mark Wahlberg, right? That one?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Um, every like when the movie came out, everybody said that like, oh, it's a massive piece of shit. And I love the first two Max Payne games. I think they're fucking fantastic. They're some of the best
They're so
games
good.
on the
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation 1 or not PlayStation 2, I'm sorry.
You're good.
Um oh yeah, they're great. Remedy is continuing to do their thing, and I believe they actually have the rights to Max Payne again.
Yeah,
So I think
they're partnering with Rockstar to do remasters of the first two. Like they're in process. So in the next year or two, we're gonna see both Max Payne 1 and 2 like HD remakes or like basically Resident Evil 2 remake, but for Max Payne.
uh-huh.
That's what they're doing. Yeah.
Perfect. I'm not gonna play those games again until they fucking get that remake treatment because they are a little rough to go back to. I'll admit that, especially on the PS2 versions. Um, the PC versions of those games have like quick saves, and the
Right.
PS2 versions do not. So you can go like 20 minutes without a checkpoint and die because you die really fast in that game, and then just have to replay the last 20 minutes of a lot of gunfights. Anyway, we're not here to talk about the video game. Um, this movie like barely follows the plot of Max Payne, but
Mm-hmm.
it's also like just kind of wild, and I kind of like it. It's like it's not a good movie, but it
Yeah.
is at the same time. It's one of those, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It's like good bad, right? I haven't seen it
yes,
myself, to be honest, on this
it's
one.
absolutely good bad. It's got some fun action. The cast is really good. Like I think Mark Wahlberg is better than people give him credit for in most things that he's in. And like, yeah, I just had a good time watching this one. I thought it was really fun. So, uh, yeah, I mean, like I said, it barely follows the plot of the games, but it also kind of follows the plot of the game. So if you know anything about that story, you're gonna get something pretty similar here.
Do they my question for this movie is do they do bullet time in the movie where it's like slow down with a bunch of
A little bit, yeah.
gunshots? A little bit. It's not as bad as like the Doom movie with The Rock where it's like first person. It's not that on the nose.
No, no, it's not that. That movie's fucking rough,
It
man.
is. I watched
Um,
that when when it came out and I didn't like it. So I haven't seen it since then, but yeah.
I had that on a UMD for my PSP.
Oh, that makes me feel. I just want that. Even though it kind of sucks, I still want that. You know, nostalgic.
Oh yeah, it's such a terrible way to watch movies, man. But like in 2005, you didn't have another way to watch movies on the go easily.
Right.
So, and I used to take the city bus everywhere when I was like 15, 16, 17. So, having a movie while I'm sitting on the bus for 20, 30 minutes at a time was like great, you know?
Yeah. It was better than those PSP. I'm not PSP. The GBA little Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon movies or
Uh-huh.
Shrek on the GBA or whatever. You know, it
Yep.
was better than that at least.
Oh, absolutely. Like they actually were like, you know, full movies that were, I mean, they were compressed down to a smaller video size, obviously, but
Right.
and you know, you're not going to get the same quality as you will with a DVD or in modern day a Blu-ray or an HD DVD or whatever.
Yeah.
Or not HD DVD, those are dead. Like 4K.
4K like a
Um,
UHD or something. Yeah. Gotcha.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get that kind of quality on the PSP, but like that screen's also tiny, so it's
So
kind
who
of
cares?
whatever. Is my
At the
Yeah, is my PSP around here? Maybe.
oh,
My Vita's right in front of me and my 3DS is right in front of me. I think my PSP is downstairs.
But
And
it's kind of the similar thought of like when you play a game on the Steam Deck and it's 1200 by 800p, it
right,
works really
never
good,
mind.
Yeah,
Look,
there
look,
there
look
it
how
is.
small that screen is.
Yeah, who cares? If that's 480p, it's going to look fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Do you want me to jump in with a thing or two here? I can do that.
Yeah. Go ahead and jump in with some stuff. I'm splitting this up. I'm gonna talk about sci-fi movies next. So talk about
Okay.
whatever you got.
Have you seen the new Fallout show or the Fallout show on Amazon at all?
I have not actually, which is really surprising because I love Fallout. I just had never got around to it.
It's incredible. Honestly, this might be the best video game adaptation, like period.
That's
At
what I've
this
heard.
rate. Yeah. The second season so far. So the first season tells a honestly the perfect Fallout story. Like I loved what they did with it. They introduced new characters, and the thing I like about this show is it's in the universe of the games where the games aren't mutually exclusive. Like this is the same universe as the game. It's not like this brand new thing that they're introducing. No, these characters exist in the Fallout world, in the game universe, and vice versa. You know, all the characters in the game universe exist in the show universe. And the set design, so the first season was really good. It was really successful. So the second season, they're like doubling down on like how good it looks. Like I feel like this looks like the best version of New Vegas you've ever seen. Because this, I mean, semi spoilers, but I'm sure you've seen it. The second season's set in New Vegas.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
I know they went to Vegas.
Yeah. So it's set in Vegas. There's a bunch of Mr. House stuff from the games, and it's set in the timeline of the series. And the characters are just really well done. The main actor, Ella Purnell, she's really good. We got what's his name as the ghoul. His name's escaping me, but that one famous actor dude. I could look it up, but the ghoul actor,
it's famous actor guy.
the famous actor guy, the ghoul actor. What is his name? It's not coming to my head.
I don't know.
Walton Goggins. He's really good as the ghoul. Those two play off themselves really well. And then, of course, they're introducing new characters too, as they have like randomly Macaulay Culkins in this season. They got what's his name from? I can't think of anybody's name right now.
It happens.
Kumail Nanjiani. He's in it randomly. I don't know if you know who that is. But he's
Name
in there.
sounds familiar.
He's in there randomly, and it's just the Brotherhood of Steel. You know, all the factions kind of have their own storylines, and New Vegas and the main characters all have their own storylines. It's just really well done, and it feels so integral into the Fallout universe. And to me,
So are there the cons and the NCR and
Yep.
and Caesar's Legion and
Yep. Every
okay.
faction is kind of like present, and they kind of introduce them. This season, they finally have budget so they can do death claws. So there's death claws.
Sick. Okay.
There's death claws in this season, and honestly, they kind of look like video game, animated villains, but they work for the show. And the show has a little bit of that hammy, corny nature to it because it's like a 50s thing, because it's Fallout. So it works, like the way they integrate with the CGI and everything. It's just a solid show. I feel like if you're a fan of the series, it's pretty much a must watch, and especially if you're interested in like video game adaptions,
Yeah, so my big problem is just that like it's on Amazon and I don't have Prime anymore.
Okay.
Because fuck that guy. But
that's fair.
Yeah.
I do not blame you there at all.
Yeah, so I might have to reach out to a friend and sail the high seas for that one.
Yeah, it's like okay, so this is such a tangent. Have you ever watched Inside by Bo Burnham, that special on Netflix?
No, I didn't, and I meant to.
Yeah.
So like when it came out, like in the middle of COVID, everybody was talking about it, and I have like this aversion to go and see the thing that everybody is talking about most of the time because I just don't like being part of hype culture most of the time.
Yeah.
So I put off watching it and with the intent to like go back to it in a few years, and a few years has passed, and I have not gone back to it.
The only reason I think say that is one of the songs in there is called Jeffrey Bezos. It's like, Jeffrey Bezos, you did it. It's kind of making fun of Bezos. So yeah,
Right.
that's what it reminded me of. But anyway, it's fucking great, dude. Like they're killing it over there with that show. So yeah. Do you want me to jump into something else, or you want to take up one of your categories here?
Let me talk about some sci-fi.
Let's do it.
I watched a bunch of science fiction movies. Have you seen The Lawnmower Man?
Probably 10 years ago, but yes, I've seen it.
Okay, so Pierce Brosnan, Jeff Fahey, 1995. Pierce Brosnan is on the verge of breakthrough with VR technology, where he's like using it to make super soldiers, essentially. And Jeff Fahey plays a guy who will kindly say is a little bit simple. And Pierce Brosnan's character like starts giving him these like the VR treatments, and it makes Jeff Fahey's character smart, but like too smart, and he starts getting like psychic abilities, and he tries to like integrate himself into like cyberspace. It's a really fucking out there movie, man. All of the CG animation is so fucking bad.
I feel like that's the most memorable part. Like every time I think of this movie, I think of like the like hexagon like beehive background with like the worst CGI face you've ever seen in your life. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks terrible, but the movie is really fun. I hadn't seen it for years and years, and yeah, this is just it's a really fun movie. It's stupid. It's stupid in that like I don't know, in only the way that like cheesy sci-fi can be stupid, right?
Yeah, and also I was looking up the movie as you're talking. It's on YouTube, just available just to watch if somebody wants to watch it.
Yeah.
Which is nice, you know.
Oh yeah, a bunch of older movies are just available on YouTube. So like honestly, people, if you're looking for something to watch and like you want to find a specific movie and it's like 30 years old or older, there's a pretty good chance it's just on YouTube for free. And it might be that you need a YouTube premium subscription to be able to watch it, or might not be.
Right.
It just kind of depends on the movie, but yeah, a lot of them are just you can just fucking watch them.
I was like scrolling through the movie, like kind of going through some scenes as you were talking. I'm like, damn, this movie is such a classic. I know it's corny, but I love it still.
It is very corny. And like I said, the effects are so bad, but like the story's fun. Pierce Brosnan is great.
And Pierce Brosnan with his hairy chest in like his open shirt. Oh yeah, that's just me, man. I'm hairy like that, so I just get it, you know.
Oh, we all wish we could be as handsome as that man.
I mean, yeah, I'll never be as handsome. I'll be as hairy, but not as handsome. You know, I'm good.
While we're in the realm of corny science fiction movies, I rewatched the Super Mario Brothers movie, the one from the 80s, the old
80s.
one, the live action one. The good Super Mario Brothers movie. I haven't watched the new one, the animated one. I don't fucking care. It seems like milk toast movie.
It very much is. So I'll tell you my opinion on the new one. It is a good solid 3 out of 5. Like if you want a good kids movie, there you go. But it's very much like kids movie with here's a 25 nostalgia things for dad at the same time, you know, and it's okay for what it is.
Yep, that's kind of how I felt about it. I've seen some bits and pieces of it, but like I've not sat down to watch it because I can't be fucked, to be honest with you.
Right.
Like
the classic one is good though. I like the classic one for sure.
It's so good, man. I get people being like not liking this movie, but they're also wrong for not liking this movie because it's just insane and fun. And the cast is like So good. I mean, you got Dennis
Bob
Hopper and
Hoskins.
John Leguizamo and Bob Hoskins. Bob Hoskins is great. I love that man. He was so good in so many things, and
Mm-hmm.
it's it's so fucking wild. This movie is insane. It makes almost no sense, you know,
Yeah.
but it's just fun. Um.
So high concept for what it is too. It's like so
Oh
out
yeah,
there. Yeah.
extraordinarily high concept, and like, yeah, I don't know. I really enjoy watching this movie. It's one of those where I go back to it time and time again, and I'm just like, it was one of those that I watched while I was like down with the injury, and
Didn't didn't
it's
sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Oh, I
I
was gonna
don't.
ask, didn't they do a 4K Blu-ray of this recently?
Probably. I think they did actually.
Oh, actually, here it
Would not
is. I
surprise
see
me.
it. $50. That's a lot of money. But hey,
It is.
that's something to keep on your radar if you're interested. Hey, I wouldn't mind owning that on Blu-ray. That's one of
Yeah.
those ones I'd watch again for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That'd be. It's a good one to have in the collection.
Yeah,
Um. And then I rewatched one of my favorite sci-fi movies of all time, Dark City. Which, Josh, have you seen Dark City?
I haven't. I did see that you rated it highly on Letterboxd yourself, Dark City, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is like one of my favorite movies of all time. There's a caveat with that though.
Mm.
The there's the director's cut and there's the theatrical cut. So the core concept of Dark City also kind of gets into a little bit of spoilers for Dark City. Um the movie is a film noir directed by Alex Perez. And he got and written by him, by the way. He got the idea for the movie while working on The Crow as the director for that, and that's kind of like, yeah, that's where like his original concept of like a city that moves and changes in the middle of the night is like, was watching the sets like be moved and around during the filming of The Crow.
Mm-hmm.
And so the without getting into spoilers, uh the core concept of Dark City is that our main character wakes up, he doesn't know what's going on. He essentially has amnesia, and he's being chased by these strange looking men, and he is being accused of murder. And he is trying to piece back together his memories to find out who he is and why he's being chased by the police and who these strange men are that are chasing him. Um, but this is a sci-fi film noir, so it's got that film noir style where like everybody's wearing pea coats and
Right.
bowler hats and
Mm-hmm.
um just feels like that style of movie, and it's dark and moody and atmospheric, and oh man, the cast is great. And
Yeah, Kiefer Sutherland. We got Jennifer Connelly. Like, yeah,
oh yeah,
William Hurt.
yep, just fantastic. And so it turns out that, to get into the spoilers, um with the theatrical cut of this movie, there is a monologue by Kiefer Sutherland's character at the beginning of the movie that basically explains the entire plot. And I think that kind of sucks because it basically reveals the entire mystery of what's happening in the movie in the first 30 seconds. And if you watch the audio commentary on the director's cut, Alex Proyas talks about how the studio made him put that monologue in because in test screenings, people were leaving the theater not understanding what happened throughout the movie, which I think just means people weren't paying attention to what was happening
Right.
in the movie. Because if you just watch the fucking movie, you can piece together what's happening. Like, you may not get all of it on a single viewing, but you should be able to get the core idea of what's happening on a single
Mm-hmm.
viewing. Like, there's a lot of little pieces, hidden in the background and in scenes that you maybe won't pick up on a singular viewing, but you should be able to pick up on at least the main plot, you know?
Yeah.
And so the director's cut takes out that opening monologue, extends a few scenes, adds in a few scenes that got cut for, the theatrical release, because the theatrical is like 95 minutes and the director's cut is like uh just under 2 hours, like maybe an hour 50, something like that.
Right.
Um this is one of the few movies where I actually think the director's cut is legitimately the best version of the movie for you to watch. Like, more often than not, I feel like director's cuts usually just like add some extra bullshit that really didn't need to be there,
Yeah.
or um sometimes they'll put out a director's cut and it'll just be like
Let's put these deleted scenes in
uh
there or something, right?
no, not even that. Like, sometimes just the what's the ratings board? The MPAA, is that right?
Right.
Like,
Mm-hmm. You're right.
um they'll be like, oh, this scene's too gory, you need to cut like 3 seconds out of this scene, otherwise we're not going to give you a rated R, and so you'll
Mm-hmm.
get like 5 scenes where they're extended by a couple of seconds because of a little bit of extra gore. Gladiators like that, like there's a little bit of extra gore and a couple of extra scenes in that movie in the director's cut, that really doesn't make a fucking difference to the overall plot and actually drags that movie out a little bit. uh so yeah, I think the director's cut is the way to watch this movie if you're going to watch it. I don't know if that's available online anywhere, but there is a Blu-ray version of that that's out in the world and available. You can just buy that. Um, yeah, weird stuff is happening in the world of Dark City is a fantastic fucking movie. I love it so much.
What's cool
Um,
about that one is that's a 1998 movie, and I know Polykill is going back to 1998 next month too. So that's
oh,
kind
I
of
didn't
fun.
even realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for 1998, everybody should watch Dark City. It's probably one of the best movies that came out that year.
Yeah. Nice.
Last piece of sci-fi that I watched was Guillermo del Toro's Mimic. I think that's also from 1998. It might be 90. It was either like 97, 98, 99, somewhere around there. Um,
97. It's saying here.
okay. That movie's just really fun. It's about insects that grew so there was a disease, and some scientists made some insects to kill off the cockroaches that were spreading the disease, and those insects have been living in the sewer and have evolved to mimic humans and are now hunting humans. It's a very silly plot. The monsters are honestly quite scary. Like, human-sized insects that kind of look like humans is a really creepy concept, and the monsters
Yeah.
look really, really good. They do a really good job of mixing like early CGI, but it's so dark that you can't that it blends well into the background, and practical effects. Um, this movie's really good. I had not watched this for years, but this is one of the movies that put Del Toro on the map, really, at least for the American cinema.
Right.
Um, and yeah, well worth going back to. It's a very fun movie. I bought the 3 pack, and the second two movies are not directed by him, and I don't think he actually had any involvement with them, and I have not watched those yet, but I've heard they're not very good, so I'm gonna watch them and have a good time with them.
It's one of those things where I've watched a lot of more modern Del Toro stuff, but I haven't seen this. I love his just directorial style.
Mhm.
I wouldn't be would not. I mean, I'm sure this guy's like what in his 60s now, so I'm sure he has so many movies I haven't seen that is in his
Yeah.
filmography. You know.
Yeah, this one's really good. You should go back and watch it. It's a lot of fun. It's a really, really solid like sci-fi horror movie.
Awesome. Well, I have a couple movies. So do you? Okay, my question for you: do you want me to do a collection of middling movies or the bangers from last month that I watched?
Why don't you start with the middling movies and we can end with the good stuff?
Sounds good. So there's a couple movies. So occasionally we will just like kind of like go through the streaming services and just play a movie and
Yeah.
not really look much up about it. There's one we watched called Drugstore June. comedy movie from 2024. The main actor is Esther Povitsky. I had to look it up. She's just like a character actor. She's in a bunch of random stuff. I would be honest.
Okay.
I really didn't like this movie that much. But
Okay.
so she works at a drugstore, and she's just basically this very self-entitled wannabe influencer, and she's the most annoying character in any movie maybe I've ever seen in my entire life, because she has zero self-awareness. Like, she thinks she is like the coolest person alive. And so the drugstore gets robbed, and she finds out her whole thing is she's like, she got to figure out who robbed the drugstore. So she finds out it's this hot guy that robbed it, and she gets arrested with him. It's just like, it's just bad. Like, the comedy's not funny. The movie is just bad. Like, I don't know. Like, there's not many redeeming qualities to it. There's this scene in a pot shop with a couple of funny moments, but besides that, it's like a really mid 2010s ish movie. You know what I mean? 2020s ish movie. You know, like
Right.
trying to be funny. Like, it's trying to be funny the whole movie, but it doesn't really hit any of those notes. You know, unfortunately. So
That sucks.
yeah, the trailers made it seem super hilarious. Then you get into it and you're like, it's fine, you know.
Right.
Well,
Yeah. That happens sometimes.
okay,
Put all
then
the funny spots in the trailer.
yeah, every I won't say there's no funny parts of the movie. Like, so the actor herself, she's not bad. Like, I feel like she has comedic chops. I just feel like the script itself was
Right. Yeah, that can happen
cringy.
sometimes.
Yeah, pretty cringy. Generally. Pretty forgettable movie, unfortunately. And then we watched another movie which had the guy from Fallout in it, Walter Goggins. He's in it as the game show host. It's called The Luckiest Man in America, and it has do you know who Paul Walter Hausen is? Have you seen any movies with him in it?
Ooh, that name sounds really familiar.
He is really good at playing weird guys. Like, he is very eccentric actor. So I'm trying to figure what's the game show.
Yeah, I have
show.
I've seen his face before.
Yeah. So the premise of the movie is it's like a historical fiction, quote unquote, or whatever, but it's based off of a guy who played Press Your Luck back in the 80s or late 70s and figured out the pattern. So Press Your Luck was kind of like one of those things where there's this moving light on this like an old school style like game show where the light would move around and you say, you know, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies, and you would say stop, and then it would stop on like a money prize. He figured out the pattern on this, and he was the biggest prize pool winner for Press Your Luck ever. And so this is what the movie is. He made over $100,000 on this game show back in the 70s. You know, basically back in the day, $100,000. That's a lot of fucking money. You know, so it's telling the story of that this weirdly weird and eccentric guy who figured out this, like, maybe he's a little bit on the spectrum, a little autistic, you know, leaning, and he was just good at recognizing patterns. You know, I felt like this movie was well done for telling that story, and I liked the acting in it. It was pretty solid to, you know, tell this just like really weird and peculiar storyline of this guy who just figured out this kind of exploit in that game show. You know, it was fun watch. You know,
yeah, that's interesting. Did you ever watch much of that show? Because like, I remember growing up and watching like the Game Show Network. I think it was.
Yeah, I watched it,
and like watching old game shows like that from the 70s, like pretty regularly.
Yeah, it's a fun game show to watch, but most people would like not stop it at the right time. It would be like the most people would win is a few thousand, you know, 4,000 or 5,000 or something. Yeah. So this guy winning for like multiple months of the show, like every episode, it's just him just winning because he figured out the pattern. Was a huge national like thing, like national news and everything. So it was interesting to see that like dramatically portrayed, you know, with some good actors.
Right.
Yeah.
I wonder if that kind of same story is going to happen with Oh, what's his name? The guy who's now the host of Jeopardy because he won Jeopardy for like 3 years straight
Uh, I could
or
see that
whatever it
happening.
was.
The host, Jeopardy. I'm looking at. I'm looking his name up because I know who you're talking about. The new host, right? Is it Ken
Yeah, yeah.
Jennings? Ken Jennings.
Yep, Ken Jennings.
Yep.
Um,
I could see that being
yeah,
like a biopic with him in it or something at some point, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Him winning Jeopardy just because like he just knows trivia so well, and he did so well that now he's the fucking host of the show.
Oh man,
Like, how often does that happen? Like, you just like never, right?
never.
Like how never.
The only other time, I mean, this is not as big, obviously, but Ink Master. I know I talked about it before. One of the hosts, the current host, is a 3-time winner of Ink Master. Like he won 3 different
Okay.
times. So it's like, I guess that would be the same, on the same plane as that in some
Yeah,
respects.
that's kind of similar, I would
Yeah.
say.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, I got one more, which is kind of more in the middling. I thought, like, so out of these ones I'm talking about here, this is probably the best one. I feel like if you want something that makes you feel a little bit nostalgic for the 70s, has good acting in it. It's a pretty interesting story. The movie doesn't really do anything crazy or is like gonna blow you away, but it tells the story very well. The last one I want to talk about here is American Sweatshop, which what a weird movie. This one is I just want to pull up the actors here. But it's so the premise of the movie is we have these are not none of these are recognizable actors, never mind. But so basically imagine there is a Facebook like content, so the people that go through all the bad videos on the internet and like block them.
Mhm.
So that's kind of like the idea of this is like they're seeing all these horrible things 24/7 and that or during their shift at work, which is like 8 or 10 hours or whatever. They are seeing like the worst of the internet, and they have to approve or deny these videos and images that can go onto these social media platforms. So that's the basic premise
Okay.
of the movie. So this girl sees like the worst of the worst of this guy like basically sexually abusing somebody with nails, like stabbing nails into somebody as like a sexual kink, and
Okay.
it just really disturbs her because he's killing people, and she finds out that instead of it being like a sexual kink thing, like he's killing people is like a murderer. So the whole
Mhm.
premise of the movie is her trying to figure out who this guy is. So the concept and the premise of the movie isn't bad. I just think that this movie kind of just wallows in that like who's this guy, what's going on, for way too long, where it starts to become a little slow and boring in the middle half of the movie to where it kind of deters from the actual like impact of the finale and finally figuring out, oh, who's this guy and what's going on. Like maybe they could have cut out, like it's not even that long of a movie, I don't think. Maybe it's like an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes. They probably could have made this as like a short, like an hour and 20 minutes, like took out 20 minutes, and it would have been a more interesting story. I just feel like the acting in it was solid. Like the main, she's really good. Like what's her name, Lily Reinhart. Yeah, she's good in the movie. Like I liked her acting, she was pretty solid. But somewhere in the middle, it's just like one of those things where you kind of your eyes glaze over because like, yes, this story has, I feel like they've ran out of story. Like there's like an A to B to C, and they just kind of add
Mhm.
like an A to a B to a BBB to a BBBBB to a C. Like they just like draw out the middle section way too much to make this too much of a compelling movie. Which kind of sucks because in general, like it's a cool premise and an interesting idea.
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel like maybe a better director or maybe even a better writer could make the movie and the script of it to be a little more interesting, where you're kind of like compelled for the entire storyline, because like
Right. Yeah.
it's a little slow, unfortunately. But yeah, that's kind of like the middling movies for me this year or this month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not gonna go. I don't have. I guess these are kind of middling.
Right.
I guess that's probably a good way to put it. So I watched a whole bunch of horror movies, right? That's pretty normal for me to
Right.
just like watch horror movies all year long. Like I just kind of do that. Um, I'm gonna talk about a couple of ghost movies first. I watched a movie called Haunt. This is Haunt from 2013, not the movie Haunt from 2019.
Hmm.
Those are very different movies. This is about a haunted house. This is a smaller indie film. Um, and so you're probably not going to know any of the actors that are in this movie. I don't
Hmm.
know any of the actors that are in this movie. Um, Essentially, family moves into this house. It's haunted. Weird things start happening. Um, like one of the neighbor, the main character, this boy, like teenager, he befriends a girl who like lives down the street, and like she knows that the house is haunted and is like trying to get him to like get out of there. And uh haunted house hijinks ensue. There's some good blood, there's some good gore, there's some good kills. The ghost is creepy, scary, and like it's everything you would want from a haunted house movie, but it's also just like it's also nothing spectacular.
Right.
Um like I don't think it did anything new with the genre. It's just another one of those, and it's a perfectly okay one.
Yeah.
So
Like a solid but probably fun watch if that's in the mood you're going for, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
if you want a spooky ghost movie, this is one that you can watch.
Hmm. Fair.
And if you've not seen it, like if you've watched all the Amityville movies and like the Paranormal Activities, and you want another horror movie that's about a haunted house and ghosts, like this is one that you can watch that you've probably not seen or heard of. So it's good in that respect. Like it's a perfectly reasonable movie. Um, Couple decent jump scares and whatnot. Uh, Nothing to really write home about though. Like it's just fine, right?
Hmm.
And then I watched Ghost Stories, which the most impressive thing about this movie is that it co-stars Martin Freeman,
Mm.
who you know from all sorts of things, The
Yeah.
Hobbit,
The Hobbit.
Hitchhiker's
Yep.
Guide to the Galaxy, Sherlock. He's been around. He's been in a lot of things. He's great. And he's great in this movie. This movie is actually really I'm really divided on this movie because it's really split into two halves. The primary premise of the movie is that there's this guy who is a skeptic, and like goes around and debunks like psychics and paranormal activity and whatnot. And he he meets this guy who um who was also doing the same thing, like debunking paranormal things that happened, and but he had a few unexplainable cases.
Right.
So gives the cases to this new guy, and now we're going around and we're seeing like these little story vignettes of him going around and talking to the people who were involved in these paranormal cases and experiencing through their perspective what happened, and him trying to like debunk them in various ways. And all of that is really, really good and interesting. And that's like the first 45 or 50 minutes of the movie. And then there's a twist. And I did not like the twist. And then it twisted again. And then it twisted again. And by the end of the movie, I was just like, you didn't need to do any of that. Like,
Yeah.
you could have just had this be a movie about a guy investigating some paranormal activity and like these weird things that happened, and it would have been like a really cool, almost anthology like movie of just these three individual ghost stories.
Right.
But instead they I don't want to spoil it because I do think this movie is actually worth watching, and like you don't see the twist coming.
Okay.
Um Even knowing that there's a twist there, I don't think you're going to see what the twist is. Um so I don't want to spoil that for you or anybody, but like I think this movie is worth watching. I just think that there's a better movie that could have been made here.
Right. It's
Had they just
It's like the M Night Shyamalan thing. Like you don't need a twist just to make it interesting.
Right.
Like maybe the story itself is good enough on its own, right? Basically,
Yep.
yeah.
Um. So yeah, those were the two ghost movies that I watched. Actually, this next one is kind of a ghost movie, also. Yeah, you're. Oh, there you go. You're not
Yeah,
blurry
focused.
anymore.
There we go. I noticed that.
um. Here Comes the Devil is a Mexican horror movie from, I believe, 2019. I have it pulled up here.
I've
Hang on.
definitely seen this one. I'm
2012.
pretty sure I've seen this
You
one.
you've seen this?
I think so.
Okay, so
It sounds familiar. Let me look at it. I've seen this. Yep. Hmm.
you have seen this? Okay, so
Yep.
uh the primary plot of Here Comes the Devil is that there is this family and their kids go missing in the wilderness while they're on like this little day trip. And then the kids end up getting found by the police,
Hmm.
and uh like they're not quite the same. Like they seem like they've been through some like pretty extreme trauma, which they kind of have because they went missing in the wilderness for like a day without their parents, and they're like young. I think the girl is like 12 or 13, and then she has a younger brother that's
Hmm.
like 10 or whatever. um and so like there's they think that somebody like captured the kids while they were in the wilderness and sexually assaulted the daughter, and they think the parents think they know who that person is, and so they go to that person's house and they kill him, and then they're like, we're never going to speak of this again.
Yep.
And then weird things start happening at their house. uh Weird spooky things start happening at their house, and weird spooky things start happening with their kids. And yeah, it turns out that their kids were dead the whole time, and that the kids in their house are ghosts.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
uh
I feel like this is one of those ones that I'm surprised I've seen, but as soon as I saw like the cover and the trailer, I'm like, yep. I don't know when I watched it. At some point in the last 10 years, I've seen this movie. You know.
yeah. I feel like this is one of those movies where like it's one of the rare foreign films that got like a fairly large push here in America, and like a
Yeah.
lot of people have actually seen it. And I finally, like, it's been on my list of movies that I've wanted for quite a while, and I finally found a copy of it for a reasonable price. Um, Really good. I really like this movie. This was a really solid horror movie. I think this was the kind of movie where the twist was worthwhile, you know?
Right.
Like finding out that the kids are actually dead and have been dead the whole time is really spooky when you think back on the, rest of the movie, and like there's just these ghost kids living in their house, and like they're taking them to school and all this, and it's like, oh god, that's really kind of fucked up, you know?
Yeah. It's almost like
Um
it's better in a rewatch because you can pick up on the little details that they're kind
yeah.
of hinting at throughout the entire thing. I love that type of thing.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed this movie. This movie's great. If you want a really good spooky movie, this one's really worthwhile. And then last one I'm going to talk about really quick is Return to Silent Hill. I went to the theater. I watched the new Silent Hill movie. Everyone seems to hate it.
Yeah, I was curious what
Uh,
you thought. I was excited to hear what you had to say about it.
I don't hate it. Like I I went into this movie expecting it to be like the biggest fucking dumpster fire I'd ever seen based on how people have been talking about it. But like, it's fine. I don't go into this movie expecting it to be, a accurate retelling of the story of Silent Hill 2, because it's not. It's just not. It's
Is that what people are expecting though when they go into these movies? Like, I don't
I
think I would
think
expect
so.
that, honestly.
I think so because the director has said that Silent Hill 2 is his favorite video game.
Ah, okay, makes sense.
So I think there was some expectation that like this would be more faithful to Silent Hill 2 than what it ended up being, but like I don't think you can adapt that story to film very easily at all.
Nah.
It's it's not exactly like it's not a story that's very easily told in its own medium, not much less translating it into a different fucking medium, you know? Um yeah, I didn't go into it expecting it to be anything. I expected it to be like absolute dog shit. I expected it to be as bad as the second Silent Hill movie, which is a actually bad movie. And this is not that. Like if you like the first Silent Hill movie, you're gonna have a good time with this one because it's kind of just more of that. You're gonna see some spooky monsters. All the monster designs are good. You're gonna see fucking Pyramid Head, and he's gonna kill some people with his big ass sword. And it's just like a goofy fun time. Like you want some gore, you want a little bit of action.
Yeah.
It's fine. The story is not great, but I didn't expect it to be. Like that first Silent Hill movie is not great. So
It's on the
I
same
don't know.
level as that one, maybe. Like, is it on the same level as that first
Maybe
one?
I would say it's a little bit less than the first one,
Okay.
but I also, like I said, I think if you like that first one, or at least if you don't mind that first one, you're gonna have a good time with this one also.
I think
It
me and you are on the same page with like horror movies. Like, if they're a little bad sometimes, it's fine. Like, that's how I am with
right.
those, you know? Like, I don't mind it, you know? Like, I'm going to still have a good
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I don't know, like this movie does not deserve like the 1.2 that it has on Letterboxd or whatever. Like it's not that kind of bad movie, you know? There
Right.
are much worse movies that you could go and watch. So, the theater wasn't full when I went to go see it. There ended up I thought it was going to be empty cuz I was the only one in there like as trailers were playing. And then people started finally filing in close to when the movie actually started, but I was there early
Yeah.
because it had just snowed and I wanted to make sure that like I actually got there on time. I also had to like I think I had something else to do before I went to the theater. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Um there ended up being like 7 people in the theater. Like it's fine. I didn't talk to anybody because why
Yeah.
would I? Fuck them.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. Don't listen to the critics. The movie's okay.
Yeah.
It's
I
not gonna
feel,
blow your socks off or anything, but it's okay.
yeah, I was going to say, I feel like the common thing nowadays for especially modern stuff is when something is not as good as people are expecting, they just love to dogpile. Like they
Right.
love to review bomb and make it look so much worse than it probably really is, you know? Uh it's annoying, but
Absolutely.
that's just how it is on the internet, you know. Whatever.
Yep. Yeah. Um, I don't know. Maybe don't go see it in the theater.
Yeah, but it might
Probably
be
not worth your time.
like a fine like streaming service watch or something, right? Like
Yeah.
yeah.
I wanted to see it in the theater just because I'm a big fan of Silent Hill. And so I went on a Tuesday at 3 in the afternoon.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that.
No, it was fine. Yeah, it's a perfectly okay movie. All right, I'm done talking for right now. Talk about something. What do you got?
Okay, so I'm gonna break this down. I have 3 movies here that I'll rate pretty highly. These are probably like my highlights for the month, and then I have like a final chapter here, which you can see that's kind of broken
Yep.
up, and I'll talk about that. All right, so let's see, where do I want to start? We'll start with Wicked for Good. Do you care about watching musicals in 2026 at all?
Not really.
That's fine. I really liked Wicked and Wicked for Good. I like as
Okay.
so basically the first
Yeah,
one,
you
you
talked
know,
about Wicked last time, so
yeah, I enjoyed it. I like it. It's you know it's a solid retelling of the witch's perspective of Wizard of Oz.
Mhm.
Um, this
Ooh,
continue.
actually, real
Go
quick,
ahead.
there's a
Sure.
Wizard of Oz horror movie coming out this year.
Oh yeah.
Uh, I
What's
saw a
it called?
trailer for it at the Silent Hill. I don't remember what it's called. I'll find it and I'll find it in a little while. But it looks like it's basically Dorothy is old and all of her memories of
Oz.
Oz are coming back to haunt her.
Oh,
and it looks really
interesting.
fucking cool. Like creepy scarecrow and creepy fucking lion man and creepy
Yeah,
tin
why
man.
not?
I think it's gonna be a good time. It's probably
I'm
gonna
down.
be like the most 3 out of 5 movie ever, but I'm here for it.
Nothing wrong with that. No, so like I don't honestly for like the the original Wizard of Oz movie. It's great. It's a classic. People
Yeah,
love it for a reason. Like I'll watch it again at some point. It's good. It set the standard for Technicolor movies, etc., etc. Why people love that
yep.
movie. Um, this is basically the Broadway play, but like made in theatrical setting. So the first one is really good. It kind of sets up the story of the main two witches, and this one kind of just is the conclusion of it. It's basically after the intermission of that theatrical play. That's the second half. That's what this movie is. So it's just more of the first one. I will say this movie is good. It's clever. It does take that concept of the Wizard of Oz, kind of turns it on its head. I think that's the original premise of the play and the Broadway production and stuff. And the actors are great. The sets are awesome. I think the CGI in this can be a little heavy-handed at times, but I still think it does have that like modern day movie like CGI where it kind of looks a little too glossy at times and a little
Yeah,
weird. But I think it suits kind of the fantastical nature and like overly colorful world of Oz. So
absolutely. Yeah,
and the music's really good. You got Ariana Grande just belting out some tunes. Like it's really good, and it's just a lot. It's just a lot of fun. It's pretty much what you're getting when you go into these, and they're a fun time if that's the what you want to watch. Like it's nothing.
yeah.
It's not going to surprise you any. But I really thought the acting and everything that's around it was really well done, and it was a solid like double feature. Like I enjoyed the second one. It's a very holiday feeling movie because of just that musical nature. It's like a good movie to watch in December. So
Yeah. I will say, like, if like the Kansas City Theater were putting on Wicked, like I would definitely go see it because
right,
like I would like to go see this like on a stage. I think that would be really cool.
yeah,
I just don't care about watching it on a movie. Like Ariana Grande is fine. Like she's a great singer.
yeah.
Not
No,
my
no,
style of music, but like I can appreciate that she's a good singer.
yeah. It's like honestly, I don't think you would probably like these movies at all, but I can appreciate them for what they are. So want to shout that out. It was a good watch. I enjoyed watching both of those. And let's see, a good drama movie I watched. It's called Twinless. It has the
Okay.
dude from Maze Runner of all things, but he's older now and I forget his name. But the main actor, I guess I can look it up. But
Maze Runner. That's a
have you?
name I've not heard in a long time.
His name is Dylan O'Brien. He is becoming like a good like modern day like I'm in my 30s. I'm acting now like good drama actor. Like he's really
Uh-huh.
in this movie. He is I would say he's fucking awesome. Like he's really good in this movie. So the main premise of it is he is a twin and his twin dies. So he's in like this twin support group where everybody in the support group, their twin has died. So they're talking about how they're missing like half of themselves, kind of like
Mhm.
that's the premise of it. And he meets this other guy that his twin dies. And I guess, do you want to know the twist of the story? I guess you're probably never going to watch this, so it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
sure. Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So the twist of this movie, spoilers, is the guy that he meets in this support group was basically he doesn't have a twin. He is the guy who killed his twin that he fell in love with. His twin is gay, and then the main guy is not gay, right?
Mhm.
So he has a relationship with his twin brother, and they're arguing in the street, and his twin brother gets hit by a bus and dies. So the guy that basically killed his brother is his best friend and like co-patriot in this like
Okay.
world in this storyline, and they become best friends, but that guy obviously doesn't know that he killed his brother basically, but he
Mhm.
thinks he has a twin, but he that died but didn't, that's not the truth and reality. So it's kind of like this just really interesting drama of this guy trying to come to terms with losing basically his best friend and his brother that he kind of had a really negative relationship with, because he's like this really butch straight guy and just couldn't understand his very like open and flamboyant gay brother that's, you know, basically looks exactly like him. He's his twin that he grew up with. So they kind of had like this divergent point, and then his brother dies and he has to come to terms with that. Finds this guy thinking that guy's going through the same thing, but realistically it's the guy that somehow, you know, basically killed his brother in an accident, you know, which it's a really cool like dichotomy there. It's just a really fun, like not fun at all. It's a really dour movie, you know. It's pretty sad, but it's an interesting concept, and I feel like the acting in it is just stellar. Everybody who's in this movie just kills it, you know. So such a good movie. It's called Twinless, so I recommend watching it, even though I'd spoiled the main twist. I still think it's worth watching. So yeah,
look, spoilers don't matter.
Yeah.
And you should watch a movie to experience the movie, regardless of whether or not you know what happens in that movie.
Yeah.
You're still going to get an interesting story. Like, you talking about a movie for 3 minutes is not going to ruin the 2 hour movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Dude, like this guy, Dylan O'Brien, this actor, like I want to see him act more, because like this movie, he plays two characters, right? He plays himself and then his twin brother, and you like they're legitimately different people the way he portrays them, and he just does such a good job. Like it's just one of those, like, this is an actor ass movie. Like the actors in this are killing it, you know. So such a good movie. It kind of like, it's one of those. Yeah, it's one of those ones where you kind of like I said, you scroll through the streaming, like what's new. This was on Hulu, and I was like, this looks interesting, let's watch it. And we watched it, and I was like kind of floored by the story and the acting. So solid movie.
Okay.
And then we got Bugonia. Do you know what Bugonia is?
I've seen this cover a couple of times.
Okay.
I don't know anything about it.
It's another Yorgos Lanthimos movie. He did a bunch of movies that are good, are crazy and out there, like The Lobster and Poor Things. Have you seen any of these or no?
I have not.
Okay. His movies are just, I'll just say that they're batshit insane, but in the best, like with positive, like batshit insane, but good. You know what I mean? The main premise of this one is we got Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons as the like two leads. Emma Stone is,
I like her. She's great.
Yeah, she is the CEO of an insecticide company. She's like really popular.
So it's right at home for you.
Yeah, it was. The funny thing about this is they were talking about neonicotinoids, which is like some type of the chemicals I use at work, and I'm like, whoa, I actually know what they're talking about. Whoa, you know, like that was fun.
Yep.
But anyway, Jesse Plemons thinks, so his brother dies because of this pesticide doing tests and stuff, and he's blaming this company for killing his brother, and he kidnaps Emma Stone, and she wakes up one day. So this is kind of the premise of the trailer. She wakes up and her hair is shaved, and she's like, "Where's my hair?" He's like, "That's how you contact the home base. That's how you contact the mothership." He thinks she's an alien. So the whole premise is this Jesse Plemons just being absolutely just unleashed, the most insane version of himself, having this woman, Emma Stone, locked up in the basement thinking she's an alien. And that's the main premise of the story. And it goes places. It is absolutely insane. Yeah. By the end of it, you're like, what the fuck? I don't even want to spoil the ending of this movie, because it's just, they take it to the nth degree. It's really out there, but the acting in it is so good. I mean, those two are just awesome anyway. So it's a high recommendation for me. This movie is just like, it's funny, it's crazy, you don't know what's going to happen in the next scene, and I think going in a little bit blind for this one is worth it. It's just bad shit for sure.
Cool. Yeah, that's one that I want to check out for sure.
Yeah, so. It's like you don't know if so the whole thing is like, is she actually an alien? His like arguments are so legitimate. Like, you're like,
Mhm.
you know what? This is actually starting to make sense. This crazy concept that he has, this tinfoil hat, perspective he has. You start to
Right.
actually believe him a little bit. Is it true? Is it not? I'd say watch the movie to find out. So on that one.
Cool. Look, I'm gonna adjust my camera a little bit because it was it
It's
still
like,
is. It was a little crooked, and looking at myself in my camera with like my background slightly twisted was giving me a headache, like legitimately.
you're like, I feel like
That,
I'm off balance or something. Yeah.
yeah, no, that actually, I'm. You can cut all this out or leave it in. I don't care
I'll
either
probably
way.
leave it in.
Is that okay? You just watch me fuck with my camera and try and get it straight again. That's better. Better, maybe. We'll call that
I
good
think
enough
so.
for now.
Yeah.
I don't know. It still feels off. Haha.
Do,
I
do,
think.
do, 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 do.
All right, so I watched some more horror movies.
Okay.
I watched Evil Dead 2013, the remake of Evil Dead. Have you seen this?
Oh yeah, it's sick. I love this movie.
Oh, it's so good. God damn, this movie's so fucking violent. The
Mm-hmm.
gore in this movie is so good. It's like so a couple things that I love about this movie. Outside of just the gore. They took like the idea of Evil Dead with like the Necronomicon and uh the summoning of the devil or demons or whatever spirits you want to call them, the evil
Mm-hmm.
from Evil Dead, and they took that idea and just like said, we're not going to try and recast somebody as Ash. We're not going to try and have a Bruce Campbell stand in. We're going to have a completely different story, and like everybody the motivations for why the characters are in this cabin in the woods and why everything happens is going to be completely different, and that's great because you're not going to be able to recast Bruce Campbell. It's just not fucking happening, you know.
Right.
um so they do that, and this movie just goes fucking wild. It's so fucking good. um I love the original Evil Dead movies. All three of them, including Army of Darkness. I love Ash versus Evil Dead, that show that was on HBO, or was it Showtime? Stars, one of those
One of
fucking cable
those.
channels. Yeah.
Yeah.
That show was also fucking fantastic. Like I'm a huge fan of Bruce Campbell, just like as an actor. I'm a huge fan of Ted Raimi as a director. Or not Sam Raimi. Sorry, Ted's his actor brother.
Yeah.
Um, Ted, I'm also a fan of Ted Raimi. Ted Raimi just like shows up in a lot of movies, just like
It's
randomly
just,
as
it's
bit
like that
parts.
one character actor. You're like, oh my god, that's Ted, right?
Yeah,
Basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ted's here and then he dies. That's basically what he does in a lot of
Right.
movies. It's great. Um, but yeah. So Sam Raimi was like involved in the making of this. Like he was the producer, so like he had some say and some input, which is great. So I feel like they were very respectful towards the like original Evil Dead movies while also making their own thing. I think this might be one of the best horror movie remakes that's been made,
Probably.
just because it's so viciously and meanly violent, but it's also like just a really really fun horror movie. um like I don't know, I mean, like you could say that like The Thing is a better horror movie remake just because like John Carpenter's The Thing is better than The Thing from Another World from 1952. Like
Right.
that original movie from the 50s is fine, but John Carpenter's The Thing is just better in
Of
every way. That's
course.
probably the best remake. But from this era of like, the 2010s, when a lot of companies were remaking movies from the 80s, this is probably the best one, you know?
Yeah. Hmm.
Um yeah, movie's just really really fucking bloody and violent and fun. So, I really enjoy it.
Did you? My question before you move on: did you ever see Evil Dead Rise?
Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah, it's like
I don't think I did.
it's a somewhat sequel to this. Somewhat, it's in the universe. They have the
Right.
Necronomicon and all that. I will say, I say recommend to you to watch that just generally whenever you feel it. And I will say this has the best title sequence of any horror movie I've ever seen. Evil Dead Rise. Like the intro to this movie to the title drop and everything. It's fucking chef's kiss. Like it's the best I've ever seen maybe in any movie ever. Like it's just like hits you like a ton of bricks. It's so good. So it's a good movie too. I think you'd have a lot of fun with it. Lots of gore. You know, it has the same energy as this Evil Dead remake has, but you know, different setting. It's like I think it's a hotel or something like that. But lots of gore, lots of crazy stuff going on. So yeah,
perfect. Yeah, I think I forgot that movie got made for whatever reason.
You'd love it.
I'll have to seek it out for sure.
Yeah. You'd really have a lot of fun with it, I think. So.
All right, we're gonna slowly go back in time a little bit, and we're gonna start by going back to Final Destination. I found a DVD copy of this for like $1 somewhere.
So
I was
fun.
like, I don't own this, so let me buy this. And I hadn't seen it probably since around the time that it came out. This movie holds up really.
It's really
well.
fun. We just watched it a few months ago. Yeah, it's so fun.
Yeah, I know. I think I bought it like right after you talked about it, because you kind of got me in the mood. So I'll probably be slowly buying up the Final Destination movies just because I don't own them, and like they're movies that just deserve to be in a horror movie collection, like for sure.
Have you seen the newest one, the Bloodlines? Have you seen that one?
Nope.
Damn,
nope,
that one's so fun. That's probably one of my favorites. Like it's like close to the top for those. It's really good. Yeah. So
I'm sure I'll see it soon because I'll be going through these probably over the course of the year, just buying them up when I find copies of them for cheap.
Nice.
I'm not going to spend like $15 on a DVD, but when I find them for $5 or whatever, I'll pick up a copy. Or if I find it at a thrift store or whatever, I'm always looking for movies. Yeah, I mean, do we need to talk about the plot of Final Destination? I don't think so. It's just a bunch of people that get killed. Like,
yeah, death is trying to kill people because they cheated death. Yeah, that's the story.
Yep.
Yep.
And it looks so 2000s.
It does.
God damn, it looks like that. It looks like that era so much. And then let's rewind back in time a little bit into the early 80s. Basket Case is one of the weirdest horror movies you will possibly ever see. Are you familiar with Basket Case?
All I know is the Green Day song. I haven't seen the movie.
Okay. Nothing to do with Green Day.
I know.
They're great. Like quite possibly the largest punk rock band ever.
Yeah.
You know, Green Day is awesome. They're fucking fantastic. Dookie is like just one of the best punk albums like ever.
Yeah, that I see the name Basket Case. That's what I think of. So yeah.
Okay. So the horror movie Basket Case is it's about this little monster that this guy keeps in like a wicker basket. So he travels to New York City from like some podunk town. So he's the new kid in the city, and he doesn't know anything, and he's carrying this basket. And like the whole gimmick of the trailer, if you ever watch the trailer for it, is everybody asking him what's in the basket.
I'm watching it right now as you talk. It's insane.
So what's in the basket is his deformed Siamese twin that was surgically removed from him. That the doctors who removed it from him, like the kid didn't want his Siamese twin removed, and the doctors and his family did it to him anyway, and no like legitimate surgeons would do it. So like his parents had to get like veterinarians and like plastic surgeons that didn't care to come to his house and essentially amputate this second person off of his body. And now he is carrying around that twin in a basket and going around and killing the people who surgically removed him.
Love
that
it.
Monster, that little creature is so fucking weird and creepy. And like they do this weird mix of like some really choppy stop motion when you see it moving around on its own, because it's like it's just a little blob creature with arms. Like it, excuse me, it doesn't have legs.
Right.
Um, so there's a couple of scenes where it's just trying to move around on its own, and it's unsettling the stop motion that they did, because it's at like a weird rate, like 4 frames a second or something, like something you don't normally see. So
Yeah.
it almost feels like some of Phil Tippett's stop motion, where it's like really kind of jaggy and weird. Um, and then the other scenes with the little monster are all like a puppet, and it's early 80s low budget horror, so like the gore isn't like extreme or extremely violent, and all the blood is like bright red paint blood, you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Uh, but the creature is unsettling, and the
He's
story is weird, and it's just kind of fun.
Yeah, he's weird looking. Like I'm just watching the trailer. They show like a few clips of him. Like, kind of looks cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a weird one. It's definitely worth watching if you're a fan of like older low budget horror, because it falls in that camp 100%. I think the story is good. It's interesting to have like a slasher movie with a story that's actually kind of compelling. It's a little different than what I'm used to from slashers, or from like creature features of this period of time specifically. So I think that makes this movie stand out a little bit. I don't know where you can watch this streaming. It's kind of an obscure movie, so
Tubi.
you might have to. Oh, you can find it on Tubi. Okay,
There
neat.
you go. Yeah. I just saw it. It's
Um,
also on AMC Plus subscription if people have that. I don't know who has AMC Plus subscription, but you know.
Nobody I know.
um, I was gonna
From
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna comment about Phil Tippett. Did you ever see Mad God? The recent.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it's like his 30-year magnum opus. That's just insane. You saw it? Okay,
Oh
it's
yeah. It's really really good.
yeah. That one
I
was
love Mad
like, that's just one of those ones where it's like there's a story there, but it's more just like you're here for the vibes. Like it's just so
Yep.
freaking eerie, you know, and just out there. Yeah.
Yeah, I finished watching Mad God, and I was just like, I was extremely blown away, and I was basically speechless with it. It was just like I don't know what to think of this. Like it was that good.
Yeah. It's just like
Yeah.
it's one of those ones where like there's no words to put to it. It's just a visual like onslaught. Like it has like
Yep.
it's just so interesting and crazy and weird. Like I want to see it again just because there's so much to it. But yeah, that's a movie. That's a highly recommended movie for me. Weird but awesome. You know.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
very much so. I mean, he's a master of his craft. So
Yeah.
one of the best stop motion animators ever. So
Yeah. Hands down.
um then I watched another movie from the 80s, another one that's fairly unknown, The Deadly Spawn. This is about a like weird alien creature that crashes on an asteroid and starts eating people and spawning more of itself, and those go around and start eating people. Um there's not much of a story here other than that. There are characters.
Yeah.
Most of them die. This is an effects movie. Like you're here for the monster. It's 100% a creature feature. You're not here for the story. You're here for the monster. You're here for the blood. The monster is really cool looking. It's like this
I've
weird,
seen
like
the monster before. Like I've
yeah,
seen
this
this
red
monster.
worm with a
Yeah.
whole bunch of teeth in its mouth. It's so weird and creepy looking. And the puppet that they made is really fucking cool. And you know, the effects are fine. Like it's an 80s slasher, a low budget 80s slasher at that. So you're gonna get what you get there. You know, you're gonna get the bright red blood, like I was talking about with Basket Case. Um, and yeah, it's a creature movie. Like that's what you're here for. Don't expect anything more than that. And it's a good one of those. It's a really good one of those. Yeah, I would say it's nothing to write home about. This would be a cool movie to see like somebody try and tackle a remake of, and
Yeah.
try and like bring it onto a larger scale, because most of the movie takes place in one house. So I think it would be cool to like kind of make it more, I hate to say this, but make it more like Slither, where it's more about like the entire town rather
Yeah.
than just like the one individual family, and like you can still focus on the one family. But I guess we have that movie and it's called Slither. So
Honestly, I could see this the vibes. It seems like maybe that's an inspiration for Slither, or at least one of the inspirations. Maybe could be.
well, Slither is basically a remake of Night of the Creeps,
Oh
which
yeah,
is
I think you mentioned
yeah,
that when you talked about it.
yep, which is also a really good movie from the 80s, which is about little slug monsters that come from outer space. Good times. Yeah, I don't know where you're gonna find the Deadly Spawn streaming, because it's another one of those weird
AMC
80s
Plus.
movies. Probably
I,
AMC Plus.
I think AMC Plus has Turner Classic Movies, so I think a lot of these
Oh yeah, that would
are
make sense.
on that like tier, or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
But yeah, this was a good time. I'm glad to finally add this one to the collection, because it's one of those old obscure movies that, like, diehard horror fans know about and no one else is ever going to give a shit about. So
Yeah. It looks exactly, watching the trailer is basically exactly what you're describing. It's just like this kind of cheesy but fun 80s movie. Like, yeah.
Yep.
Looks like a good time.
It's that vibe.
Yeah.
It's a vibe.
Like, yeah. All right. Well, for us, we're rewatching the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Just the So the stipulations for the rewatch, we're watching it in chronological order of the story, not release order of the movies. So, like,
Okay.
starting with Captain America 1 in the 40s, going all the way up to the MCU modern day. There's actually that option on Disney Plus, so we're like, why not? We're not going to watch all those TV shows or anything. We're going to watch the 30-something movies or whatever it is. So I figured, I have a movie podcast. I will just talk about my rankings of the Marvel Cinematic Universe as I go through them again. And then, of course, my partner's going to help me rank them and kind of put their input too. We watched the first 5 of them: Captain America 1, Captain Marvel, Iron Man 2, and Incredible Hulk. Which, these are all pretty good movies. There's, I think my favorite of this little batch we watched, these 5, is the first Captain America. Do you like any of these stand out? Like, what's your opinion on these 5 here? This little list.
I've not seen Captain Marvel. I've not seen I saw Captain America when it came out.
Right.
I like the Iron Man movies.
Okay. The Hulk movie kind of sucks. I'll say that.
I don't think I ever saw it, actually, and I think I heard that it sucks. So I think I just like avoided it.
So for the Incredible Hulk, it has Edward Norton as the main guy in it instead of Mark Ruffalo. So I mean, I like Edward Norton. He's fine.
Yeah, he's great.
I feel like he doesn't have much to do in this movie, and he's kind of flat because of the writing. Like, I don't feel like he has a lot to do. We have his love interest is Liv Tyler, which is funny as hell. In Captain America 4. So what I realized is Captain America 4, the new one that just came out, like 2 years ago, is a direct sequel to that Incredible Hulk movie that came out in like 2008.
Okay.
Because Liv Tyler is in Captain America 4. Ross, the bad, the lieutenant's in it. The Red Hulk is like a direct descendant of the Hulk, obviously. He's in Cap 4. And then also the leader is set up in Incredible Hulk, that movie from 2008. And it came back and like they made a sequel that far in the future, which is weird, but hey, it happened.
That is wild. Yeah. Wasn't Red Hulk played by Harrison Ford?
He was. They
recast
that same character like 3 or 4 times in this, because it's an old guy, so I think the original actor died, and then the second actor they cast died. So now they have Harrison Ford, who is somehow alive, and he's like 80, But yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, Captain America 1, it's just a really good origin story. It's a really good period piece for the 40s. I like Steve Rogers and of course Chris Evans. Does a really good job. Fun movie. It's a really good setup for going forward. And what I found out is like,
can I interrupt you for a second and
sure,
ask you
go
a
ahead.
question? What do you think is better, Captain America or Wonder Woman? Because they both take place during like a world war.
I think Captain America might be a little better because I like the lead a little bit more. I think Wonder Woman's good. I feel like Gal Gadot's a little flat with her acting in general.
Fair. Yeah.
But that movie, Wonder Woman, has that no man's land scene where she's just like a badass, and that's one of my favorite like comic book movie scenes ever. I just think it's just really good and really well done. So yeah. Overall, I think Captain America is a little better. But
okay.
When I first saw that movie, I thought it was a little slow, but I have come to appreciate it a little bit more because it feels like they were trying to make a wartime movie. As long, like with that feeling of like this is war, and so those type of movies are a little slower. They have a little bit more character moments and a little bit more like montages and things to kind of like build everything up, and that's what they were trying to go for. And I think it even has like that color grading of like that classic wartime movie where it's a little more gray, a little more brown, on purpose. And then of course when he has his like suit on and with the bright reds and blues, it pops more. So yeah. I like the movie. It's a really good setup. Then we have Captain Marvel, which I only saw this movie one time before. I thought it was okay. I was like, oh yeah, it was fine. I watched it again doing this rewatch, and I was like, you know what? This is pretty good. Like I actually was surprised how much I liked it. It's more like celestial, more like galaxy focused, more like about the universe outside of the world of the Marvel, like it's outside of Earth, like in space and stuff. I forgot all that stuff. I thought it was more about her being like, all getting touched by alien technology, obviously, or whatever. But it's more about her species and like the universe and stuff. I was like kind of surprised that it was that big of scope. They do some de-aging tech on Samuel L. Jackson. It looks okay because he's supposed to be like, in his 30s or whatever. And, having 70-year-old Sam Jackson with like fake like CG face looked a little weird. And then they have the guy who plays Coulson, younger as well. And he just didn't look good at all. It was super uncanny valley. It looked like that Final Fantasy movie. What was that one? Spirits Within. Yeah, it looked like that type of vibes, where the face didn't look realistic at all, But hey,
I like that movie. It's so dumb.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's fine for what it is.
Yeah.
And then we got the two Iron Man movies. Iron Man 1, it's a classic. I like it. It really, honestly, on the Iron Man movies, it depends on how much you like RDJ. If you're not a big fan of him, you're not going to like these movies because that's he's the primary focus of the movie. He's the character. So if you don't like his acting or his like cocky attitude or anything, you're probably not going to like the movies. But this is like the most MySpace era movie I've ever seen. Like it feels like that era in a movie. Like it positive, like it's good. Like I had a good time with it. The second one is fine. It is what it is. It has some weird choices, but it's not bad. Yeah. And then, like I said, the Incredible Hulk movie was just, it's kind of, so the thing about the Incredible Hulk movie, every time I watch it, I doze off every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time. I was like, so watching it this time, I was like, I got this. 25 minutes in, I'm dozing off during one of the scenes. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about this movie. Every time I watch it, I doze off.
It's
at
a
least
sedative.
Yeah, at least like sometime during it, I start dozing. But so the ranking so far is the order that we're watching it. So it's getting worse so far as we're watching it, unfortunately. Okay. But we'll update this as we keep watching stuff. But it's Captain America is number 1, and Captain Marvel, Iron Man 2, and then Incredible Hulk is the current ranking. And that's the order we watched them in. So let's see how it goes going forward, and I'll keep you guys updated.
Awesome. I am excited to hear what you think about the rest of those movies, because I've not seen all of them. I've probably seen like 8, 10 of the Marvel movies, something like that. I just don't care enough to watch all of them.
That's fair. There's too many of them, realistically.
Yeah.
It's the reason we're doing so we like to watch like series like you've seen. We watch like the Saw movies and stuff. So this is just the current movie series we're going through because we're like,
Right, yeah.
Doomsday's coming out in Christmas time, and I was like, well, leading up to Doomsday, let's see all the movies. So if there's like any weird Easter eggs or something like in that movie, we'd be able to pick up on more of those. Basically, that's my concept there. You know,
That makes sense. You'll go see Doomsday and talk about it here on the podcast, and I will sit here and nod in abject silence as I do not go to see that movie because I have zero interest.
what's your opinion on Marvel right now? Like, are you just out for the series?
They just release too much fucking stuff, and I just don't care to keep up. So
yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with Star Wars now. It's like there's just too much Star Wars.
The exact same place with Star Wars. There's just they pumped out far too much, far too fast, and I just can't be fucked to keep up with it. It's just too much.
Yeah, and it's like I watched episode 9 on Star Wars, and I was like, is this the quality you guys expect from the series? I think that I can kind of back away. I think I'm good, you know? Yeah. That's where I'm at with that. Marvel, so the thing about people like Marvel, like when I watch these movies, I don't rate them against other movies. These movies are their own thing to me. Like this is the Marvel universe. So if I give a movie in the Marvel universe like a 5-star, it's not going to be like a 5-star compared to like every other movie in existence. It's 5-star for Marvel.
It's not Citizen Kane.
Yeah, exactly. You know? It's not like the best movie ever. It's a 5-star for Marvel, you know, because these are just their own genre and their own universe to me. And I could separate that in my mind. A lot of people take them way too damn seriously. But anyway, yeah.
Yep. So I went on a kick of watching fucking werewolf movies, and I don't really know why. So it started because I found a movie called Skinwalkers. I had never heard of this, and I was like, oh, I could stand to watch a werewolf movie right now. And Skinwalkers is not a horror movie at all. It's very much an action movie. Basically, there's like these two different clans of werewolves, and one of the clans wants to get rid of the curse forever, and the other clan says, no, fuck that. We're bad biker boys, and we want to stay werewolves forever. And it all revolves around this one kid who is the son or maybe daughter? I don't remember because this movie's not very good. It's the kid of like the leader of both of these groups. So bad biker boy leader is kid's dad. Good mommy is the half human or half werewolf child's mother. Okay. And the two groups are fighting over this child. There's lots of gunfights. And the werewolf transformations are kind of shitty, and the werewolves look kind of shitty. It's like an okay action movie. It's not very good, but it's also like unoffensive, if that makes sense. Like it's not terrible. You're not going to have a bad time. Like it's entertaining watching it, but as you can tell, the plot did not stick in my brain at all. So it's kind of just a whatever movie. Like if you want a werewolf action movie, there are better ones out there. But if you've seen all of the other ones, you want another one, maybe Skinwalkers might be okay.
Right.
So that was the first one that I watched, and that sent me down a rabbit hole. And I was like, well, I haven't watched The Howling in a long time. Howling's a classic from the 80s. I think everybody at least knows about The Howling.
It's one of those ones I know about, but I haven't seen. I've seen probably clips and stuff about it, but I know what it is. Yeah.
Right. I actually found this movie. I hadn't watched it for like 5 or 6 years, something like that. It'd been a while. And I found it pretty boring, actually. For like the slower paced horror movies of the 80s, it was pretty uneventful for like the first hour. So I I used to like this movie more, I think. And on the rewatch, I was like, I think this movie is like not that good, actually. Like it's fine. Like the werewolves look okay, and like it's kind of it's a whatever movie. Like it's a classic for a reason. And it's got like a really iconic ending scene.
Hmm.
Uh, where like so like the movie ends with a scene that has been like mimicked in 100 things, but like the woman's on the news and she is a werewolf and she turns into a werewolf like while the live camera feed is on her and then she gets shot.
Yeah,
Uh
I've seen that scene, and I haven't seen the movie. Yeah.
yeah. So like it's iconic for that that scene and like I feel like that's why people remember this movie so much. But like it's just kind of dull for most of it, I found.
Fair.
But then I watched The Howling 2, and this movie stars Christopher Lee and is like an absolute fucking romp of a movie. It's
Oh yeah.
it's almost a soft core porn, if I'm
Oh,
being honest with you. Like almost.
not
The
expected at
werewolf
all.
the werewolf cult is basically a BDSM cult.
Mm.
Um it's yeah, there's lots of naked people of both genders and
Got that
there's
full
like
that those dongers hanging out and titties hanging out everywhere.
uh-huh.
Yep.
There's a three-way werewolf orgy. Not even
Oh.
an orgy, but there is an orgy. But there's a three-way with werewolves. So very furry people fucking getting it on in bed. But Christopher Lee is just being Chris Lee doing his
Yeah.
fucking horror movie thing.
Hmm.
And he makes this movie what it is. It's a really dumb movie, but it's more entertaining than the first one. Uh yeah, I had a really good time with this one. Like
Gotta love Christopher
it's
Lee,
not
man. Like just
yeah.
generally, he's so good in everything.
Yeah, he is. He's
He was like
yeah,
90
he
years old making metal albums. You know, it's just like
oh yeah.
he's just a great guy. Rest in peace. But you know, he was so awesome.
Yeah. And I mean he has a long lineage of making, kind of shitty, cheesy horror movies from the late 50s into the 60s. I mean with Hammer Films and a bunch of other smaller studios. He made a lot of horror movies back in the day. So like this is where where he shines. Um so yeah, like I think you should check out The Howling 2. I'm going to keep going with the Howling movies. I hear The Howling 4 is supposed to be an absolute fucking it's people either fucking love it or think it's a dumpster fire. The Howling 3 is a massive piece of shit but I kind of like it. So I'm gonna move on to the Howling 4 and 5 here pretty soon. As soon as I find copies of them, they're those kind of like weird 80s or early 90s horror movies where you might find a copy of them in the wild if you're lucky. So whenever I find them, I'll get around to them. It's
I
basically
mean,
what that comes down to.
yeah, it's just one of those ones you just like, oh shit, here's the third one. Why not? Yeah, type of thing.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Which is kind of what I'm doing with the Final Destination movies right now. Also, like I'm not actively seeking them out, but when I find them for a cheap price, I'm gonna go ahead and pick up more of them. Um, then I rewatched American Werewolf in London, and this is generally considered like one of the best werewolf movies.
It's good.
And yeah, I hadn't seen this movie also in like 5-6 years. This movie is so fucking good. I don't know why I don't watch this movie more often than I do because it is an effects masterpiece and it's really fucking fun. Um, so two American kids are they go on vacation and they're walking through like northern England, just kind of like hitchhiking their way through northern England, and they just want to like travel and see the country. And they're in this rural town and they get attacked by werewolves. And they get attacked by a werewolf, and like everybody in this little town knows that there's werewolves, but don't say anything to the kids and just like let them go out into the streets in at night. And one of the kids dies, and the other one gets bitten but doesn't die. So he is going to become a werewolf, and he keeps getting hallucinations of his friend who's dead, and like the makeup is so good because like his like face and neck is all tore up, and like you can see like the esophagus and the bits hanging, and they're all moving while he's talking and stuff, and it's really really cool scene. And that hallucination guy, like his friend, keeps showing up throughout the movie.
Yeah.
And every time he shows up, he's more decayed than he was the last time, which is just really, really fun. And then the actual werewolf transformation is just one of the best.
Yeah, it's so good. I was literally watching that as you were talking because I'm like, that's the thing I always remember from this movie. It's just so like graphic and horrifying and awesome at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks so painful with like the hands just stretching and like the skin tearing apart and all of that. Like it looks horrific and it's acted so well. And yeah, this is just, it's considered one of the best werewolf movies for a good reason. And it is just really, really fucking good. So, if you've never seen American Werewolf in London, you absolutely need to. This is just one of the like pinnacle of 80s horror cinema. Like this is a must watch.
Yeah, I agree.
From that era for sure. And then I was looking at my shelf and I was like, well, I haven't watched Underworld in a long time.
I like that movie, Kate Beckinsale. I haven't seen it in years, but I remember loving it.
This movie holds up so well, man. God, it's like the new metal of werewolf movies.
Nothing wrong with that.
And it's like it was such a big deal back in the day when it came out. And you could tell it's so influenced by the Matrix movies because everybody's in black leather and trench coats, and it's just like very goth kind of style. And
like the color grading, I'm like, obviously you see the cover, it's like super like blues and purples, but like watching like just the trailer, that's the whole movie. It's like all like blue tinted and purples and like that style for some reason.
Yeah, it's just a big fun action movie, man. I had such a good time watching it. I hadn't seen it probably around the time that it came out. It'd been a long time since I watched it. Like it probably mid 2000s was the last time I watched it. I was just like, well, I'm on the kick. I've got the movie. I might as well put it in. I think I was given this movie by one of my friends when they were getting rid of like just part of their DVDs because they didn't want them anymore. Maybe they upgraded them to Blu-ray. I don't know. I don't remember buying this, but it's been sitting on my shelf for a while, and this is gonna become like a regular watch for me. Like it's so much fun, man. It's so kind of corny and goofy, but
wanna watch the other four of them?
I own Evolution, so I own the second one, and I think I'm gonna go through the rest of them also, because why not at this point? Like,
I think I've only seen the first two, like ever. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen 3 or 4. So, I just watched this yesterday. It was either yesterday or the day before. So I didn't have time to watch Underworld Evolution, which I wanted to before we recorded. So I'll be talking about that next time because it's going to go in the DVD player here pretty soon, and then I'll track down the other two and watch them also probably.
Nice.
So, I think I'm all in on goth vampires again. We're gonna go down that road.
It just has that high school feeling to me, like this came out around that time frame, give or take, it's like, yeah, it's edgy. It's Linkin Park's probably playing in the background, a Hybrid Theory,
I don't know if Linkin Park actually plays, but it wouldn't surprise me if it did. Like, if it wasn't Linkin Park, there's probably like a Mudvayne song somewhere in there, or a Slipknot song, or a Korn track somewhere in there. Oh
yeah, that has Korn energy all over it for sure. POD. There you go. That's another one.
Yeah, it could be a little bit of POD. Yeah, good movie. I had a good time watching it. the most 2003 thing you could possibly watch.
Mm-hmm. All right.
That's it. That's all the werewolf movies that I watched.
I think that's all of everything we watched in the last month. That was quite a bit, though. Since,
It was.
yeah.
Yeah, I watched. I mean, being down out of work for a little while, I just sat watching stuff. So that'll happen from time to time.
Yeah, sometimes it's a more heavy movie watching month. I feel like we watched a lot more random TV this month than movies, but hey, it is what it is for myself.
Yeah. All right, shall we move on? Actually, Josh, before we move on, I need to take a momentary break.
I was waiting for that. I'm ready.
All right.
I gotta pee, to be honest.
Yeah.
All
right. We'll be back in a minute.
All right. Refreshed.
Yeah. Refreshed. I got a fresh drink. Ready to go. Do you want to read Max's email here?
Yeah, we can do that first, and then we can go into our recommendations and stuff. Talk about. I'm curious what you thought about Hundreds of Beavers. It's an interesting one for sure. So.
Yeah. Interesting recommendation. We'll get to that in a second. Do you want to read the email, or you want me to go ahead and read it?
I'll read it. Why not? Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So we got an email here. This is our first email we've gotten from anybody, so thank you. Obviously, it's from our buddy Max, Potomax. He says,
"Yeah,
okay, sup guys, it's Potomax. I've been reflecting on my favorite pieces of non-gaming media I consumed in 2025, and I think I have a solid top 5. Heavily skewed in the science fiction genre. Feel free to comment if you've seen those, and what you think of them." His number 5 is this. Going okay, so this is labeled interestingly here.
Yeah, so it got labeled badly, and I just copy pasted it from his Discord message because it wasn't actually an email, but he just DM'd me instead. But so 5 is the number 5, and the number 9 here is his number 1.
Okay, so it's counting down. Gotcha. So going from 5 to his number 1 favorite thing. All right, number 5 was Foundation Season 3. Easily the best season of the show so far. The Asimov adaptation. Acting and scope is phenomenal. Cautiously optimistic for the next season. Have you seen this show? I haven't myself.
I have not.
I think this has the guy from Game of Thrones in it.
Okay.
Kit Harington? Am I wrong? I might be wrong. I don't know. Anyway, I haven't really seen it. I don't even know much about it. So it looks interesting though.
Yeah, I have not seen any of this. So,
Lee Pace. Interesting.
Might have to check this out. This looks kind of neat.
Has an interesting look to it. It's an Apple TV show, so it's probably going to be good.
Yeah.
All right. Like I said earlier, another Apple TV show is number 4, Severance Season 2, which is one that I this is Josh speaking right now. This is one I think about giving you as a recommendation a lot, is Severance, but we'll see if that ever comes to pass. Anyway, Season 2. of Severance. He says that show is so intense and mysterious, just a fun time all around. And I know you haven't seen that show, right?
I have not seen it. It's one that I do want to watch, and I don't have Apple TV at the moment. Yeah. I'm about to renew my Apple TV subscription because the MLS season is getting ready to start back up, and MLS is on Major League Soccer is on Apple TV.
Okay.
So, once the soccer season starts back up here late next month or early March, whenever it's supposed to start, I'll be re-upping my Apple TV subscription. So
okay. So if you don't watch that on your
I'll have access to it again because I want to watch Severance and I want to watch Ted Lasso for sure. Like I've heard both of those are like just some of the best shows to watch on Apple TV. So
yeah, and then
I'm gonna get around to them probably.
I watched Silo as well, which I would say was okay. Like you probably can skip that one. Pluribus is a good intro to a show, but I want to see what happens more. Like I feel like it's the best pilot episode I've seen of a show. Like the first episode is like fucking awesome. And then like the rest of it's a really good tone piece, but also like I just want to see what happens next. But Severance is it's awesome. It's like really good. Like the first season just like it blew me away. Like I had to see what happened in season 2, and then I waited like I think it was like a year and a half or something for season 2, and then it did not disappoint. I really love that show just generally. So I think you'll like it, especially as a commentary on like work life and how corporations take your identity and, you know, trying to be your own person outside of work, trying to be a different person at work. And it just plays into the politics of that. And it's very interesting. And the acting is so good. It's a great show. So awesome. Number 3 for him was Cabin in the Woods. He says, it's typically, I don't watch horror movies, but I gave this one a shot. WTF. I knew there was a twist, but I didn't anticipate the scope of the movie. Such a fun ride. Yeah, that's a classic.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of
Joss Whedon.
Yep, Joss Whedon. Thank you. You know, he's kind of a piece of shit in some ways, but this is one of the better things that he's ever made. Like this is just a fun movie for sure. Yeah. All the characters are great, and Sigourney Weaver is awesome. So,
yeah,
it's a really fun horror movie.
Joss Whedon is he starts to like become his own state. He gets flanderized, which flanderized is kind of like whenever there's a like Flanders in The Simpsons, like he becomes a stereotype over time because, you know, instead of just being a character, he is just like his qualities or his like stereotypical qualities. I feel like Joss Whedon slowly starts becoming, okay, this is a Joss Whedon joke. Like that's what he ends up being. Yeah. But if you go back into his earlier stuff, like Cabin in the Woods or Firefly and things like that, like he has some original ideas like this that are really well done. So the more you go into his like filmography and stuff, the worse it gets, unfortunately, for that guy. So, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's also just like not a good person. So well, yeah, there's
that's true too. Yeah, he sucks. Straight up, he sucks too. So yeah. Anyway.
Yes.
And number 2 was Mickey 17. Robert Pattinson playing a couple of dorks on an alien planet is just peak sci-fi. A must watch.
I need to watch this because I think Robert Pattinson kind of got a raw deal with the Twilight movies because like he's a good actor.
He's awesome.
And people kind of just shit on him.
Yeah.
For being in those movies. A lot in the same way that like Hayden Christensen kind of got shit on for the Star Wars prequels.
True. Have you? So you haven't seen Mickey 17 at all? I
have not.
Yeah. So this movie is so fucking fun. So obviously Robert Pattinson's basically playing so the concept of the movie in this one is you can sign yourself up to be a laborer, but you get into dangerous situations and they just clone you. And you and you can continue working basically. So he's the 17th of these Mickeys which is his name, that
Right.
has been cloned. And what ends up happening is they make an 18th Mickey, but 17 didn't actually die. So what are they going to do
Oh,
now
okay.
in this like dystopian, like hyper capitalist society? It's also really fun because Mark Ruffalo is the president or like the leader, and he's basically playing his Trump version.
Okay.
And he's just like, it's not quite Trump, but it's like this very close to Trump like accent he's doing, very hyper New York, like Brooklyn vibes. And he has like these big fake buck teeth in his mouth and stuff. He is Mark Ruffalo just hamming up every scene. It's just hilarious. The movie's funny and it's biting commentary, and it's just one of those ones where the jokes land, and also at the same time you think a little bit because it has some good context and like trying to like portray how shitty capitalism is and stuff. It's a good movie. It's really good. All right, so his number one for last year that he watched was Edge of Tomorrow. He says, I love a good time loop movie, and this one is an absolute banger. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time through, pun intended. Have you seen Edge of Tomorrow?
I have not.
That's a really good movie too. I love a time loop
Yeah.
anything like where it just like repeats every day. It's Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt, and it's in the future, and basically it's a video. This is like one of the most video game ass movies I've ever seen because it's like
Right.
It's like when you're in one of those type of harder video games where you die a bunch of times and you have to repeat that segment and then like learn a new thing
Right.
each step. It's that.
This
but
was
in a
from
movie.
like the last couple of years ago, right?
This movie's like from 2015, maybe. I'm gonna look it up.
Okay.
Edge of Tomorrow is 20.
Because like,
2015.
okay,
Yeah.
like let me just say this real quick. Y'all just heard me talk about a bunch of movies from like the early 2000s through the
80s.
early 80s.
Yeah.
Like that's my wheelhouse. That's where I live in terms of movies 90% of the time. I don't watch much modern stuff. I'm trying. I'm trying to get there a little bit more because like I know there's good stuff that I need to watch, but I just watch so much older stuff, man.
I think that's what's nice about this show is because I lean a little more modern generally, and you lean a little more classic. So we gotta kind of get the whole spectrum there, you know. So
Yeah.
but maybe this one of my concepts for like giving you like a recommendation was like a time loop movie pack, which this would be included. There's a few other ones, so maybe that's something I throw at you at some point. But that's
Okay.
a really fun action movie with a cool concept. So Max closes it out by saying, anyways, thanks for the awesome podcast. Here's to a great 2026. So
Thanks, Max.
thank you. Yeah, appreciate that. I might as well shout it out. If you guys want to write into the show, obviously you can reach out to us directly, or you can send us an email at themonthlyMishap@gmail.com.
Yep. You can definitely do that. And you can recommend us to watch stuff, and we probably won't, but you can definitely try.
Yeah. All right. So we got our recommendations from last month. I recommended Hundreds of Beavers, and you recommended me read a novel, The Dragon Wing, the first part of the Death Gate cycle, which is a 7-series book series. So who wants to go first here? Do you want me to go, or do you want to go?
No, I think we should talk about Hundreds of Beavers first.
Okay. Did you hate it?
No, I love this movie. What are you
Okay.
talking about?
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did. I wasn't sure.
So-
Like this is such a like out of left field recommendation for me. So.
Oh, absolutely. I went into this not like you told me that it was kind of like a silent film, and it basically is a silent film. Like it might as well be Buster Keaton, you know?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's black and white slapstick comedy in like its purest form, and it's this such a weird mix between live action and like hand-drawn animation and like weird kind of like segmented cuts where it feels like a cartoon the entire time, despite the fact that it's live action.
It feels like a 1940s Looney Tunes short, but like a full movie, but live action at the same time, right? Pretty much.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like a Looney Tunes. It feels like a Bugs Bunny or like a Wile E. Coyote.
Yep.
Um, like that's the vibe that they're going for here. Like our dude will be walking somewhere in the snow and will just like fall into a hole with a whole like whoop sound effect as he falls
Yeah,
into
with
a hole.
like the circular black circle hole that you expect from
Uh-huh.
a cartoon, right? Yep.
Yeah. And so like there's scenes where like you'll have a shot of like the woods in with like the snow coming down and he'll just like walk out from behind a tree. So that's what I mean by like weird cuts and like
Hmm.
things, you know? Um yeah, this movie dude, I was dying. This movie's so fucking funny.
It's
It's
hilarious, right? Like I was cracking up the whole movie. Like it's so like ridiculous, you know.
yeah. Um all of the animals being played by people in suits, just like big fur suits that obviously look like they're people inside of a like just shitty Halloween costume. You know what killed me the most? Actually, the horse that
Yep.
that the fucking Native American guy has. There's one scene where you just get like a close-up shot of the horse and it's just a dude's face like with a round cutout around his face. So it's just a man's face with a floppy horse head on top of it.
Yeah.
And he just,
I'm laughing just thinking
it's just
about it.
like this
Uh,
is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in a movie and I'm just dying. Um I was in like three minds with this movie, honestly. I was like absolutely dying laughing for like the first 25-30 minutes and then like after that I was like all right, I've got like an hour plus of this left. Are
mhm.
we gonna get to the fucking point? And it kind of felt like it was dragging for like a solid 20 minutes, and then it just got really funny again.
Yeah.
So, which is weird. Like, that's such a weird pace. Um, yeah, I mean, there is a story here. Essentially, this guy like he was an apple farmer, and he was making like apple like cider, alcoholic cider,
Yeah.
and like his farm caught on fire, and his booze got destroyed or stolen or something. Um, and so now he's just like trapped in the wilderness and he has to become a hunter and he wants to win the the heart of like there's like a singular store where he can sell fur from the animals and that store has the store owner has a daughter and he wants to marry the daughter.
Yeah.
And so he needs to bring them hundreds of beaver skins to get her
It's
hand in
very
marriage.
like Zelda or like video game feeling where like he
Uh-huh.
has to go out and just collect all these materials to like
Uh-huh.
level up his like hunting skills basically. It's great.
Yep. Um, he gets a club at some point. Like he trades a bunch of skins for a club, and it's really funny where like he'll just walk up to a beaver and hit him in the head, and then their eyes just turn into giant black X's and they
Mhm.
fall over. It's so fucking stupid. Um, yeah, this is just a really funny slapstick comedy. Like if man, I don't know the last time I've seen a movie that tried to capture this vibe, you know?
Yeah, it's very
Like maybe
unique.
the
Yeah.
50s.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those ones where it's like you can tell this is made with a lot of love, and you know,
Mhm.
like it's very low budget, like in the low budget nature of it somehow makes it more funny, you know, like just like
Yeah.
the suits, the way it's filmed, the way they edit everything. Like you said, there's like a hand drawn map that they show here and there, and the
Uh-huh.
map even has jokes in it as they're telling like the story of how he gets across this wilderness. It's just so
Uh-huh.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, there's some really funny moments in this movie. It's almost I mean it's very surreal.
Yeah.
Surrealist is like the best way to put it. It's just wild. Um as I said, there's not like we talked about like the core plot
Yeah, there's not much else
concept.
to it, right?
Yeah, there's not much else to it. It's that and like slapstick ensues where he's trying to hunt animals, and as he's trying to learn how to hunt animals, like they keep outsmarting him, and he keeps fucking up. He like gets the shit beat out of him by like raccoons. He has like trees fall on him and stuff. It's very, it's very fucking, it's slapstick. It's just slapstick comedy.
Yeah, like every 10 minutes you're gonna see 52 jokes. It's like one of those where it's like there's a joke a minute as you're watching this movie. I think I agree with you that there is like a middle part that's a little slow, like 15 20 minutes, where it's like, okay, they're trying to tell a plot with this like slapstick black and white movie, but by the time you get past that, and then it kind of leads to more jokes. It's like they're just making their way to more jokes. I feel like the whole purpose of this is like, how many funny things can we have this guy interact with these dudes in beaver suits do? It's like, yeah. How many perilous situations can we put this guy and make him make funny faces? I say the main actor in this is really good because he does such a good job of that like classic silent film like acting where his face is just like so animated, the entire time.
Yeah, you have when the movie's silent, you have to overact, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's like a product of movies moving from the stage to film. Because like if you're acting in a comedy on stage, you have to be larger than life. You have to act big so that the people in the back can tell what's happening, right? So that there's a translation there when movies started getting made that where it was a lot like theater in a lot of ways, and that is one of those ways. So, and yeah, although there's like 5 main characters in this movie that are actually, I think, technically named characters. I don't know any of their names.
No,
it doesn't matter.
You got the main guy, the shop owner that's kind of has a grumpy face that doesn't want him to get his daughter, and then you have the daughter who's kind of like the badass lady, like that's the three that's the 3 main characters pretty much, and then you got the hundreds of beavers with their costumes, right?
Yep. Well, and then there's the 2 side characters. So there's the other hunter that kind of teaches him how to hunt.
Yeah.
And then there's the Native American guy. With his horse.
With the derpy ass horse, which is literally just a Halloween costume with 2 guys in it type of horse. Yeah.
Oh, that costume fucking kills me, man. It's fucking so good. This was I didn't know what to expect going into this, and this is great. It's so fucking funny. I don't know how funny it would be on a rewatch, but I feel like this is something that I'm going to come back to at a later point in time and watch again. Kind of like with Looney Tunes. I don't usually sit there and laugh when I'm watching Looney Tunes, but I'm having a good time enjoying myself watching Looney Tunes. Just going through those old cartoons again, which I love. I love Looney Tunes so much. It's so good.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where I watched it whenever, like maybe a year or 2 years ago or something like that, and I just I thought it was just so fun. Like, it's one of those ones where like I was done watching it and my stomach hurt because I was laughing so much, because it was like that funny, So I'm glad you had a good time with it.
Yeah, an interesting pick for sure.
Yeah,
I don't know how to fucking follow that up, in any way.
No, it was just honestly, it was this one. I was like, this one. So I'm sure you have the same thing where you have like a list of like movies or TV shows you want to recommend or whatever. I have the same thing for you, and I was just like, you know what? I think Chris might like this, so I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, good time. I don't think I have anything else like insightful to say about it other than like it's really funny. It's free on YouTube.
There you go.
Just go watch it.
Yeah, it's short too. It's like an hour and 20 or something. Like it's
like an hour 40.
Is it really? Okay.
I think so. Yeah. It might be
good,
like 8 minutes of credits at the end, but either way.
Yeah, it's a good watch.
Hour and a half, something like that.
I would say that we both recommend watching it if you're in the mood for just some silly ass comedy that is ridiculous as hell, right? So
Yep, absolutely. Um, yeah. If you're looking for something funny, if you're a fan of classic Looney Tunes, if you're a fan of um any of the classic slapstick comedies, whether that's Buster Keaton, Three Stooges, Abbott and Costello. Abbott and Costello may be a little bit less slapstick, but they're still very slapstick, even though they're telling a lot of jokes at the same time. I mean, you can say the same thing about the Stooges also,
Right.
but yeah, if you're a fan of any of those guys, uh, you're gonna have a good time here. Which actually, let me ask you, Josh, since we're kind
Yeah.
of on that topic, are you a fan of any of that old like either silent films or some of that early slapstick comedy stuff?
I like the Marx Brothers. I used to watch them a lot.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, and then I also the Stooges. I'll say I like them, but I never found them like laugh out loud funny. It's more like I'm smiling because it's just a good time,
Mhm.
type of funny to me back in the day.
Yeah, yeah, the Stooges. I feel the same way about the Stooges. I kind of feel the same way about Abbott and Costello also, where like
Right.
every once in a while there will be like a really funny joke, but more often than not, it's just like a ridiculous situation that they're being put in, and you're just kind of smirking to yourself and having a good time watching them be fools.
Yeah, like these guys are idiots. This is just a lot of fun to watch. I might not be like keeled over laughing 24/7 like watching it, but it's a good time. Yeah, that's how I feel about them. But
Okay.
I think the Marx Brothers legitimately have some really good classic movies that are funny though. I would say
Yeah.
from those guys. But they're not really silent film guys, but they have that same
No.
energy,
Yeah,
So,
yeah, for sure.
yeah. All right. So you gave me a novel to read. I can jump
I
into that.
did. Yes. How do you want to tackle this? Because it's
It's
big. It's a
big-
lot, right?
It's a lot. Yeah, it is a lot. I can do like somewhat of an overview of what the book is and what the story is, and then we could just talk about it. I think that's probably the
Yeah,
best,
okay.
best way to go about it. So we got Dragon Wing, which is the first of the Deathgate cycle, which is a
Yep.
7-book series, which I
Yep.
didn't realize until I looked it up later on after you gave it to this assignment to me. These
Well, I
are
told you
written-
that, but you must have forgotten.
Probably. My brain doesn't. I'll forget half of everything. Anyway, so
Yeah.
we got the main two writers is Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman, which obviously are huge and popular fantasy writers. So
Yep.
the premise of this book, there's a lot. There's so many characters. There's so much going on. This is a really dense
Yep.
book. Huge. So the thing about this book is it's kind of just setting up future events.
It is.
It really is. Yeah. So it starts off, you got Hugh the Hand. He is on death row. He's about to get killed. He gets saved by a guy named Trian, and they go to this other area. And I could just run through the story super fast, but there's a lot to it. But he is basically, he's like an assassin, and he has to go to this, like, I guess it's like a human realm where the king wants to basically have his son assassinated, and they don't really explain why. You do find out later.
Yep.
And
so King Stephen and his wife Queen Anne want their son Bane assassinated.
Bane. Yep. And
And they want him specifically assassinated in a way to make it look like the elves
killed him.
have
Yeah.
captured their son so that they can go to war against the elves.
Right. And the thing is like Hugh is like kind of unsure about this with this kid, because he starts to become like kind of fond for the kid, which we find out why later on. As there's multiple characters. We'll focus on Hugh first, which to me, okay, so my opinion is Hugh's my favorite character of the story on this storyline. I like Hugh. He just he's a conflicted character. He's like one of those villains, but he's not really a villain. He's kind of like, I'm just trying to make the best for myself in this fucked up world, and you know, I'm good at killing people, so people do that for me, but I kill people that need to be killed for the better good. He's kind of the Robin Hood type assassin, right? Give or take.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, he kills for money, so
Money. Yeah, true.
it doesn't. It never. Even though he says that, like, he gets contracted by people to, like, go and kill for whatever reason they want, he also kind of doesn't care what their reason is, so long as he's getting paid.
That too. Yep.
So
So
but he's also, like, one of the most well-known assassins, which is why he is hired by the king to take care of Bane.
yep. And he has kind of a plan to take him to a different area. Basically, get onto his elven ship, which is the Dragon Wing, which we find out later, and get him into a different area and kind of stage this whole thing. But before he even gets there, somebody shows up named Alfred, which is his Chamberlain.
Yep.
Chamberlain. He shows up. He's just like 6'7", like tall, gawky dude with bald head, graying features, old guy, always stumbling over his feet, but curiously, like, oh, why is he always clumsy? Maybe he's a little too clumsy for his own good. He's always fainting when anything happens, He shows up out of nowhere. He was like, what the hell? Who's this guy? And,
Right.
he's taking care of Bane. Basically, it's Bane's, like, servant, quote unquote.
Yep.
And there's a scene like that happens where Bane goes into the wilderness because Bane is like, he's this little kid. He has, like, golden, like, blonde hair. He's like, has, like, the perfect features. He's like the perfect young boy, like the nicest kid you've ever meet, like, by talking to him, which you find out is not really the case later on. And he goes off into the wilderness. He sucks.
Not nice guy.
He's probably the biggest villain of the whole story, right? When it comes down to it. Besides,
kind of, him or
Sinistrad.
the Sinistrad, the primary antagonist of kind of the whole thing.
His dad, right?
Yep.
We're spoiling this book, by the way.
We're gonna spoil this entire book.
To tell you, I did read the entire book and I finished the story and I went ahead and ordered Elven Star. I'm going to read the second one. So
nice.
I'm going to continue on the story. You kind of gave me the push into starting to get into a reading habit, which I appreciate. So, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
That wasn't the intention. The intention was just like, I really love this world that they built.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about it because I've like loved this world for so long, and it doesn't really have a presence online.
Yeah, and then we got there's so many cool characters, but I'm focusing on these characters first. But like Lim Beck is like, that's my guy. Like, I love Lim Beck in this story. He's so good. Anyway, going forward, they're kind of like on this mission to go to this realm where Hugh knows he can like rest there and like refuel his ship and stuff, but his plan was initially, I can go to this area, I forget the name of the landmass or whatever, but he can go there and kill the kid and make it look like it's elven because it's kind of like an elven area. And as they're doing that journey, it's like a few weeks, there is this scene where Bane goes out with Alfred and he was like, I don't need to go fruit picking. That's stupid. That's a waste of time because that's his personality. He hears a crash and he goes out there and the kid's just like, fine, even though this like giant tree fell on him. And he's like wondering what happened. And in my head, I'm like, who's this Alfred guy? Like, Alfred's out there, you find out that he's a pretty powerful figure later on. But at this point, it's like, I feel like this book's really good at setting up like little mysteries that you want to like tug on the string of and like think about. And they kind of slowly reveal it throughout the whole book. And that's for every character. They do a really good job at that, where it's like, I want to keep reading because I want to see what happens next. And I want to get that mystery solved, and they keep doing that. They keep asking those questions you want to know the answers to, So all this happens, at the same time, they kind of cut to a new character, and I'm like, I want to know what happens with Hugh and this like mixed characters. You know, I don't care about this new world. But they go down to Drevin, which is like the lower realm. It's not the bottom realm, because everything's made of this stuff called coralite, which can float in air. It has. And it really depends on how much like natural materials are with the coralite and how high it floats in the sky, basically. At least that's the way they describe it. So this is kind of like the lower area, and there's this mysterious, gigantic, like monolithic machine called the Kixie Winzy, which is named by the dwarves, but they're called Gegs in this because they've kind of lost their identity over the hundreds of years that they've been underground. They call themselves the Gegs. And they have a union in here because they're trying to have a group of people asking the question why, which doesn't really happen in this version of like dwarven culture or Geg culture. They don't ask the question why. They just work. They toil away. They're strong arm characters that all they care about is their keeping this giant machine running, but they don't know why this machine's running. They just keep it running. That's what their whole culture is about. They kind of worship this giant machine, right?
Yep.
So the main character they focus on in this is Limbeck, and he is kind of like the idealist. Like he's a little more intelligent than most people in this world. He's a little bit more. His head's in the clouds. He doesn't really do the 9 to 5 grind like everybody else does. He is more of the idealist, more of the I'm doing the paperwork of this type of person. He's like the bureaucrat almost in this world. And
almost.
Yeah. Do they really describe what his like job is? I think they just kind of say he doesn't do the 9 to 5. He's pudgier. He's a belly. They mentioned that multiple times.
Yeah. So, he never works on a shift for the Kixie Whimsy. He basically was like kicked out of school because he was asking too many questions.
Yeah.
So he doesn't do the job that like his family was born to do. Like, and he doesn't do a job like everybody else. He's trying to get like all he does is write speeches and try and get other people to basically stop being slaves to the elves, because that's kind of what the dwarves have become. So they're not just slaves to this machine. Like they do serve the machine, the Kixie Whimsy, but they're also basically slaves to the elves, because in this world, the mid realm and the high realm don't have a natural supply of water.
Yep.
So they have to come down into the low realm to get water, because the machine makes water for some reason and nobody quite knows why.
Yep.
And that's one of the things that Limbeck is wanting to figure out is, why does this machine make water? Why does it do the things that it does? Mm-hmm. And why do the elves come to us for water?
Yeah. And like they tell a story. So I think the way they do tell like a previous story for him, like showing him going out into like the upper area, like the basically ground level, not underground like they always are. And he found like an old ship with like a bunch of elves in there, and they were rotting. And he's like, oh well, these elves aren't gods. And he started questioning things, and I think that's what got him out of like the actual shifts inside of doing like the actual manual labor, right? Because he kept on asking that question, like, why did I see this? Why was this like this? Like, this doesn't make any sense to me. Type of thing.
And people just kind of don't believe him that happened, because they think that the elves are gods.
Yeah, even his partner, Jarre, like, she's like, I love you, but no, you know, like that. Like, I don't understand that. I don't believe what you're saying, because this is my like belief structure. This is what I believe my entire life. And he's like, no, like these creatures and these people that have put us here are not gods, you know?
Yeah, they're mortals just like us.
Yeah, basically.
And they're not. They're just elves.
Yeah, they're elves. And then we got two like factions. So actually we have 3 faction humans. We got the main like regular humans that don't have any magic powers, and then we find out there's the Sartans and the patrons, which are basically two. Basically they kind of have similar magics right? But of
Yes.
different levels. But they use runic magic. They draw runes on themselves or in the air
Yeah.
to cast magic spells, right?
Yep.
Uh,
So I think some of the history of the Sartan and the patrons or patrons is talked about in one of the appendices of this book, but it may be in one of the later books as well. I don't remember for sure, but essentially the Sartans and the patrons are these two factions of like extraordinarily powerful wizards,
Yep.
and they have been in a constant struggle, a constant fight against each other because of like their different philosophies of how things should work. The patrons essentially believed in the old world, which the old world is Earth. It is our Earth, but our Earth fantasy style with elves and humans and dwarves. The patrons believed that they were basically demigods, that they should be ruling over all of the lower races that they call, both of them call mensch. Mm-hmm. So all the humans, elves, and dwarves. And the Sartan, they thought that they should just be like, at least it's explained in some of these earlier books that they believe that they should just be like a helping hand to help
like
the
set them
races
up for success, basically. Like the whole thing with the Kixie Winzy, what you find out is like they're trying to align all these every realm into like one entire line, right? Like so everything can be lined up so where the water can shoot out from underneath and have water for everybody.
Provide water to the entire world. So the world that we're in this book is called Ariamus. It is the realm of air. What happened, and I believe it is briefly explained in this book, is that the Sartan were basically losing the war against the patrons.
Yep. And
they decided to sunder the world, destroy the old world, and split it up into 4 separate worlds. So the world of air, where you're at in this book, and then the world of fire, the world of stone, and the world of water.
Yeah, which will probably be explored in other novels, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Those are your next 4 books.
Okay, gotcha. I figured I'm gonna keep reading. I'll let you know. I'll keep you updated. But it's interesting.
And then they imprisoned the patrons in a place called the Labyrinth, which you get there later also. But
also he was in the Labyrinth, wasn't he? He survived it. I think that was part of his backstory. He's like
that's Haplo. That's not
Haplo. It's Haplo. Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha. I wasn't sure.
Yeah. So Haplo is a patron that has been sent to the realm of air by Lord Exar to explore the world and find out what's happening in these worlds, because they've only recently come out of the Labyrinth, and they now want to start going to the other realms, and that's why Haplo is there, which we haven't even talked about him yet. He appears down on Drevlin, and starts just kind of like observing things.
Yeah, it's like Limbeck goes out again because he's like the leader of the union, and stuff. They shoot him off. So the whole thing about the gangs is they don't want to kill anybody, right? So they're like, okay, we'll just shoot them up. We'll use this thing. We'll throw him off the cliff, basically, and the world can take him on, and the gods can do what they will with him. If he dies, he dies.
Let the gods judge him.
Basically, when he goes out there, he finds a ship that's just there, and it's like has kind of mystical qualities to it, kind of like shimmering, like it's almost invisible. He goes inside there and he finds somebody that's bloodied and just like screwed up. His face is all bloody, and he takes him out. He drags him out across, and then there's a dog in there as well, which is the dog in the story, which is literally just called Dog. That's his name.
Dog. Yep. It's his name.
Yep. I was like, did they ever name this dog? Nope. They just always call him Dog. It's just
Dog.
in my head, I imagine this dog is like a very like scraggly looking like lab with like white. They always describe his white eyebrows and stuff, so I don't know. That's how I just think of him in my head. So
yeah, I think they describe him as being like Labrador-esque. So I
Yeah.
always imagined him as like a black lab or a chocolate lab or
Yeah, with like
a lab.
little
Yeah.
like white highlights on his eyebrow areas and like maybe a
Mhm.
couple of spots on his chin or something, like white spots. Uh,
Yep.
Probably the cutest dog. It is like I love the dog in this because he's always vibing, But
Yeah.
the thing you do realize that he has a connection to Hoplo later on, where he can like listen through the dog's ears through some type of magic spell to like spy on
Yep.
people and stuff, which is cool. I feel like people listening to this are just completely lost, but that's okay. Yeah. Anyway,
It is a 450-page book. It's a lot to take in.
yeah.
So, like, it's not like a 2-hour movie,
I will
Like,
be at first when you said this, like, hey, you got to read a book. I was like, fuck, that's a lot. But then I got into it and I was like,
it goes
fuck.
fast, doesn't it?
I was like, fuck, that's a lot. But hey, I kind of want to know more. You know what I mean? That's kind of how it ended up being.
That's
Yeah.
also why I recommended the audiobook. Like, I know that this was a little bit of a bigger ask, but the audiobook is like 13 hours. And if
Yeah.
you're listening to it at work and you're listening to it like an hour or two a day, you
goes
can
by
get
fast.
through it. Yeah, really fast. So
Yeah. So how I would do it for this book is I would like, I bought the book because I was like, it's like $6. I was like, screw it, I'll buy the book.
Yeah.
Got it from Amazon, the paperback, the cheap paperback. And I was like, I'll have the chapters as I'm listening, and then when I got like 30, 45 minutes at home, I'll read a chapter or two. So I kind of like did half and half on this one, little audiobook, half reading. I finished it reading because I figured I finished it last night because I was like, I want to be really fresh. I want to finish it up right before the podcast. So I read the last like 4 or 5 chapters, which is like 30 pages or something, last night. So it's nice. It was nice. It was really, it's a really fun read generally. I like the characters. We talked about Hugh and we talked about Braun. What's his name? The kid? Bane. I almost said Braun. I'm thinking of Game of Thrones, I think, or something. Bane.
yeah, so we got Hugh, Bane, and Alfred and then
Yep.
Limbeck, Jar, Haplo, and then there's a couple other dwarves down in the low realm that are kind of important.
The Froman or whatever.
Yeah, the High Froman, and like there's, I don't remember what his name is. The guy who's like the High Froman's brother or cousin, who's like the head of the church.
Yeah, but he's like he kind of like has a thing for Jar or Jar, whatever her name is. Yeah, too at the same time. Yeah. So what's the other characters we got? That's the main cast really, and then we got
that's all the main cast.
So we kind of have like these separate threads going on, and eventually they all end up in Dreven, by various ways. Like we got Hugh, he has the dragon wing. The dragon wing ends up crashing in like a huge storm and maelstrom, and basically a fight with the elves in midair. At one point, the elves threw Bane off the side of the cliff, and Bane the entire time had worn this feather around his neck that has him communicating with who God only knows, but you find out that it's his real father, and the king from the human realm is not his actual father, that he got switched at birth, and he's actually a changeling from the upper high realms. So you find out his father is Sinistrad, which is like this big, malevolent, like super powerful wizard from he's Sartan, right? Or Parton. I don't forget.
Nope, he's neither. He is a human.
He's just human that has magic.
Yep.
Okay.
So humans and elves both have access to magic. They just can't use the rune magic that the Sartan and the patrons can use.
Right.
And the human, all the magic is broken up according to houses. So the higher your house, the more powerful magic that you know. The wizards that live in the high realm are they call themselves the Mysteriarchs. They're wizards of the seventh house. They're the most powerful human wizards, and they are isolationists. They left the rest of the humans and said, we're gonna go live away from all of your wars and all of your bullshit, and we're just gonna live by ourselves in the high realm.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean,
that was a bad idea on their part because they are dying.
Yeah. Like so basically everybody comes together. We finally end up the group ends up going up to the where Sinistrad lives by the end of the book, skipping some other like lots of other story threads and stuff, because this is a really dense book with a lot of story. This is honestly like 2 seasons of TV in a book. You know what I mean? If you were going to split it
kind
up.
of is. Yeah.
So you end up there with all the main characters all together. We got Hoplo with his dog, and we got Hugh, we got Bane and Alfred, his caretaker, basically, and then we got Limbeck up there. There's this whole inciting thing where they teach the Gags, or the dwarves, this like human incantation, like this song that they can sing to basically lull these elves into like a false sense of like basically hypnotize them with this like song. But they find out that these elves are wearing whistles that can cancel that out. And so instead of it actually working out in their favor, it was more of like ends up being kind of like this big like, we need to like sing the song and get up here as fast as we can and like close this bridge and take over the ship ASAP. And there's the elves, they even count to the elves, and there's like this whole like dividing faction where like the leader of the elves is kind of this piece of shit and everybody hates him, and then there's this like lieutenant that wants to take over. So Hugh goes ahead and gives him his sword, and like the lieutenant stabs the freaking captain in his chest and takes over and helps them get up to the higher realm, pretty much, to go see what's his name, the bad guy again, Sinistrad, which corny ass name, Castle Sinistrad. You find, I mean, it does say that Sinistrad gave himself that name, because he wanted to be like thug or like a brute, basically, right? It's stupid though.
So it is very stupid, but it's that kind of idea of like, what's the most like evil sounding name that I could have because I'm an evil person? Well, I'm going to call myself Sinister.
And
okay.
His wife, Iridel. Okay, I'm bad with names in general, especially these high fantasy names. She like agrees to be with him because he's kind of like the bad boy, right? Like originally, and he's like, I don't think you should be with me because I'm evil. Like he straight up tells her, I'm evil. Like that's me. And she's like, no, I like that. You're something spicy. You're getting me out of the day to day, the norm.
And she grows to regret that.
Yeah, she really does. She's like alone in like a tower that's basically like a projection of magic. It's not even a real tower. And like he takes their son and swaps them with a king, or the prince from the other area, Stephen, that's the king's name, and his son,
King Stephen's son.
And that son dies because he can't survive in the air pressure because the infant can't, it just dies. And then this changeling, which is basically this spawn of like high magic, is out there spying on all these areas. He saw the Kixie Winsey, he saw a bunch of plans from Steven, and the human armies down in the mid realm, and like he's basically using this young kid to spy on all these people to give him more information. So.
And to take over as the leader of the mid realm, because that's why he put Bane there in the first place, is because by having his son as the illegitimate son of King Stephen, when King Stephen dies, Bane takes over the throne. So once Bane takes over the throne, Sinistrad can take over the throne, and then the Mysteriarchs can come back in power rather than having to like fight a war that they may lose because they don't have many people left. Like they may be powerful wizards, but there's like 20 or 30 of them left. They're dying. They're dying out.
He's trying to basically his like culture and his society, he's trying to bolster that by like taking over everything else and becoming like the ruler, and then he can basically increase the population of this world, right? Basically his realm.
Then he can come back and be in power.
Yep.
without having to fight a war for power instead. He'll
Yeah.
just he'll just have the throne for himself through Bane.
Basically, and you find out like the third act of this book is like 6 chapters.
Breakneck.
It's like 6 chapters of just like reveal, 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 like over and over and over again. So it's like you find out all this stuff about Sinistrad, who he is, his life, and then you find out more about Bane. You find about that Alfred's Sartan, which you kind of get hinted at too, because he like faints into a statue, and then Glenbeck's partner Jarre just goes in there with him. I say Jarre because that's what the voice a narrator of the audiobook says, so I have to say it's Jarre. I don't know, it's Jar or Jarre.
So the version that I listen to, they say Jar.
Yeah, they say Jar in that one because I listen a little bit of that one, but I also listen to the Spotify one because it's convenient. Okay. And they say Jarre in that one, so I don't know.
Okay,
Jare, whatever that is, you know. So
yeah, I don't think it really matters which is the actual correct pronunciation. So
yeah. So anyway, she goes down there into like this like near the bottom of the Kixie Windsy, like in this like tomb of a bunch of like dead people, and then you're like all these like tombstones and stuff, and then Alfred's like sad and like crying, he's like weeping openly, and he's like, oh, I miss all my, you know, former people that I loved and cared about. And you're like, who the hell is he? And you find out he's a Sartan, and Sartans are the ones who made that giant machine to align all these continents up to provide water to everybody. But their plan kind of got screwed over because all of them died before this plan could happen. And the original plan for the dwarves were like, this is not a permanent thing. This is like a generation, maybe 2 generations to help get that started. And then they were going to reward them with like more spoils after that happened, but that never happened because their entire like civilization died off except for a handful of people, you know. So the Gegs had just been there for hundreds, thousands of years, who knows how long, and just toiling away at this thing. They don't even know why, but that's their society and their beliefs because of what the Sartans put them there. So of course Lynn Beck, this guy, this revolutionary guy who's asking all these questions, finding all these answers out, by the end of the story, he ends up going back to Drevin and telling everybody like, "Hey, we've been basically toiling for nothing, or been toiling to help other societies way more than we are able to help. So we kind of have to go to war, which sucks, you know, pretty much." Yeah. So you find that out. You find out who Alfred is. You find out who Haplo is. He's like this like ancient. He's like been alive for thousands of years, and you know, or
he has not.
He has not. How long has he been alive then?
So they don't specifically say, but
he's in like newer, but he has like the tattoos of like the classic, like, you know.
So all of his people, they tattoo the runes on their skin as they continue to age.
Okay.
He's probably somewhere in his 30s, realistically.
Okay. Because they like the way that they describe it. Sorry, in the book that there he was like, I've heard stories of the people with the tattoos, so I didn't realize if it was like, oh, he's been alive for a long time. They did describe him as a younger individual, like a less than middle-aged person in the book, so I didn't know if that was like, oh, he's like 1,000 years old and he looks young, or if he was actually young, you know.
No. So
I know Haplo's like kind of the main character, right, going forward, or at least one of them.
Yeah, Haplo is is probably the main character for the overall narrative of all 7 books.
Right.
Some of these other characters are extremely important across the entirety of the narrative as well. You'll meet Alfred again. You'll meet Hugh the Hand again.
Oh yeah.
You'll see Bane again.
Oh, I'm gonna meet Hugh again. He died. What are you talking about?
Oh, sorry.
No, I had that feeling. It's that type of world. Yeah, you're good. I'm just giving you shit.
Does he die? I guess he does.
It's left open. It just says then Hugh went to meet the guy in the black robe or something like that. It's like one sentence and that was it. And they never brought him back up again. So I figured either he died or continued to exist in this realm or something like that, you know? Like, yeah.
I think that's a spoiler for like several books from now.
That's
My
fine.
bad.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. We'll see if I get there. I'm gonna. My goal right now is like I'm gonna try to have a book going constantly. So it'll be in the rotation for sure. But basically the whole ends up being they're in the high realm. This big, huge like. Basically, it's not huge. Like the story in this feels big because they're trying to set a lot of stuff up, but it's very personal. I feel like all the things that happen aren't like the biggest. Like there's not like a giant war that happens or anything. It's always between like 20 to 30 people. Like something that will happen. At the end, they're in this high castle with Sinistrad, his wife, and a bunch of stuff goes down, and basically Sinistrad gets killed. Hugh sacrifices himself, at least at the end of this book. And they all get away at the last minute. Hoplo, Bane, and Alfred and the dog. They teleport away, and then it kind of just ends there. That's pretty much the end of the book on this one. So, Limbeck as well.
Yeah. Did you read the epilogue?
Yes, I read the epilogue where it's him talking to his like master. Like, okay, basically this has been Hoplo telling this story to his master the whole time, pretty much.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought it was cool. I thought that every time I thought this book got a little bit like tropey, like fantasy tropey, they would add something to make it a little more interesting. Like they would add a little like kink into it, where it's like, okay, well, okay, we got wizards, we got this and this, but no, these wizards are different because of this. Or, we got dwarves, but no, they're a little different because of this. And I feel like they did enough of that to make it interesting and build a very unique world that I haven't like experienced anywhere else. So it's cool.
Yeah. The thing that I will say is that like while it does feel a little bit tropey now, like fantasy, I mean, like it's not the birth of fantasy, but like after Tolkien, there wasn't a whole lot of like high fantasy writing until like the 70s.
Right.
Like there's kind of that period from Middle Earth and Lord of the Rings, it's like the 60s, right?
Yeah.
Or late 50s when those books were first published, and then you kind of have this period of like 20 years, 30 years where there's not a whole lot of other fantasy being written.
Right.
Like there is some, obviously, but not a lot until like the dawn of Dungeons and Dragons in the early 80s. And then that's when fantasy really starts to build on top of itself. So a lot of the things that feel kind of like tropes at our point now, 50 years later, were not tropes 30 years ago.
No, like if I were honestly, as a kid, if I would have read this book, I would have been blown away. Like it's like that interest. Like the world is like I said, it's like there's some tropey things, but like the reason I say it's tropey, it's because it's like it's echoing Tolkien. Like you said, like a lot of people take a lot of that vibe and feeling from Tolkien. Even this has some of that feeling occasionally, but
absolutely.
But it's like it's definitely its own thing. Like it's definitely its own world with like its own like universe, new concept and everything. So this feels like the first season of a really fun fantasy TV show, and that I basically read. That's really what it feels like. If someone was going to write, like, basically adapt this to film or screen, to be relevant for the podcast, this would be like season 1 of 7. You know what I mean? And like it sets up such a cool world. You start to like all the characters. I really respect the way they write the characters because they're not just one note characters. They have depth. They have, you hear every single person that they focus on, like the main, like 6 or 7 people, they have their own internal dialogue. They have their own, things they go through in their own thought processes. And they all have like, they evolve throughout the story, which I appreciate a lot, especially Limbeck. Like I said, he's probably my favorite character in the story because like he changes, and the reason he does is he's learning. He's like observing what the world actually is when he's been lied to his entire like 30-ish years of existence. Basically, yeah. So really fun book, man. I appreciate you kind of pushing me out of my comfort zone for that one. I had a great time with it. And like I said, I'm going to continue with the story. I want to see what happens next. Like, I'm like on the edge of my seat. I want to see what these characters get up to next, you know?
All right. Well, Elven Star, I think is really interesting. You're going to enter the realm of fire next. Um, this book doesn't talk about any of the other realms. Not really.
Right.
Do you have any ideas of what you think the realm of fire might be? Because that is part of the mystery going into that book.
Is that the Realm of Fire? Because the next one's called like Fire or something, isn't it? Book 3, Death Gate 3. This
Yeah,
one, next
book
one's
3
called
is
Fire
Sea.
Sea. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no concept. I don't know. It's gonna be surprised. I'm not gonna look nothing. I don't know. It's gonna be good though. I'm sure. Like you said, as long as I get to see my boys, you know, see all my characters that I've fallen in love with a little bit, you know.
So you're not gonna see anybody with the same names except for Haplo in the next book.
That's fine. I get it. That's the kind of universe I'm in, you know. So
Yeah.
But
you'll start seeing some of the other faces coming back by Fire Sea.
okay, that's fine. I expect that from this thing because it's not like a no, I wouldn't say Harry Potter. Almost, it's not like a Star Wars thing where it's like it's just one family. It's like this is a world, this is a universe, so there's going to be many players that you need to be introduced to get the story going. You know, so I'm expecting that.
Yeah, and so as the reader, you're following Haplo's journey of trying to discover what each of these individual realms are,
right,
and what is happening on them. So that's kind of that's your journey, that's Haplo's journey at the same time. And like I said when I recommended the book to you, I like these books so much because of the world that they built around the narrative. Like,
yeah,
I like the story and everything, but I think the world that everything exists in is the primary character. That's the most interesting part of
it's very
of
unique.
The world.
It really is.
Yes.
Like, I know I'm just getting a taste of it because it's like literally only a seventh of the story, but this taste I've had, I'm like, damn, I want to know more, like, about how this world works, you know, like the more I know, the better. They did have like a little appendix talking about the magic of, I think it's the Sartans or something. I read that.
It kind of talks about both of their magics.
Yeah. It's kind of like wordy and it's a little hard to parse a little bit to me, but it made sense. But I was kind of like, okay, this is like some shit that's a little above me, but that's okay.
Yeah, so that's the kind of stuff. There's a little bit of that in all of the books. It's kind of going into like the more nerdy depths of the lore of how things function within this world.
Yeah, they have like diagrams and stuff in the book. I was like, okay, this is interesting.
And so like all of that it's kind of necessary if you want like the full picture, if you want to know like the depths of the intricacies of how it's. In a lot of ways, it's very similar to like trying to read the Silmarillion, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't need to read the Silmarillion to understand the world of the Lord of the Rings. But if you want to understand the history of the world of the Lord of the Rings, you're going to read the Silmarillion and you're going to be very confused because he just talks about a bunch of history from all sorts of different periods of time within the world of Middle Earth.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, it's unnecessary reading for just enjoying the story, but it's there to expand upon the world.
Yeah, give you some more lore.
Interested in knowing more.
Yeah. No, I left going like, okay, it's only like 4 or 5 pages. It wasn't that hard to read or anything, but it was more like okay, that was a lot, you know, but I got kind of like what they were going for with that, which is cool. But so what happens for me at the end of this book, I was like, damn, that was a cool story. I want to see what happens next. I literally went and ordered the next book, and then I was like, okay, there's an epilogue to read. Let's read this. And I was like, oh, okay, that puts it into more perspective. And then they had that extra little bit. And I was like, okay, this is nerdy shit, but hey, you know, it does add to the lore a bit. So I want to see what happens more. I do think that I see myself reading all 7. I do see it. I don't want to promise anything, but I'll try my best. It's to me, it's just another hobby to throw into the mix. So I'm trying to like get into the habit of just like less screens in my life. You know, like I like playing video games. I play thousands of hours of video games every year, whatever. Watch a bunch of movies, obviously. But getting some books in and, you know, trying to get more well-read is fun, even when it's like nerdy fiction like this, you know?
Yep. So you have the next book ordered. That's awesome.
It should be here tomorrow.
Awesome. Do you think you'll have it read by the time we record the next episode?
I will try. I don't know for sure. So
okay.
We'll see. Yeah.
What I'll say is keep me updated, like in DMs. Let me know. Yeah. Because if you are going to have half of the book read or the entirety of the book read by next episode, I'll re-listen to the audiobook myself. We can have a discussion about that book. I could probably do it without re-listening, but it'd be more fun to fucking have it all fresh in my mind again.
Yeah. Because the story's cool though, man. Like I enjoyed it. So it was a good recommendation. I will say I was trepidatious at first. I'm like, this is a big ask, but hey, I got it done.
Yeah.
I got it done because I enjoyed it. If I didn't enjoy the book, I would have been probably like halfway done and been like, oh yeah, I tried. But no, I
would have been perfectly fine with that. Like I think, I don't remember if I said this for sure, but the audiobook version that I listened to on YouTube is split into like 2 7-hour videos.
Right.
And so like, had you just gotten through the first half, I think that would have been more than enough to find out whether or not you liked it enough to continue reading. And if you didn't, that would have been perfectly reasonable and perfectly fine, you know?
So what ended up happening is I listened to the YouTube one and then I was like, oh yeah, this is pretty good. But then I started listening to the Spotify one. I just like the narrator a little bit more. So so Spotify with the premium, they give you like, I think it's 12 hours or something of audiobooks a month. I ran out listening to that.
Okay.
Like, so I was just like, I ran out of audiobook time. Should I listen to the YouTube one? You know what? I'm just going to finish it up by reading. So I've read the last 50, 60 pages myself. But like I said, I was going back and forth anyway. But I'd say a majority of it was listened. But hey, it's super nice. I'm like out there spraying a house, doing my job, whatever. And I'm hearing like this story and I'm just smiling. Like, this is a good time, you know? So it was a good story. I enjoyed it.
Awesome. I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad that it wasn't a complete flop of a recommendation, even though it was completely outside of what we normally do here.
Yeah, and I was like, man, I got to throw him a curveball. But today, it won't be a curveball for the new ones. But do you want to talk about our new ones since we've been going for a bit here? Our next month's?
Yeah, we can talk about our next month's recommendations. I'll go ahead and recommend you what I want to recommend you.
Okay.
I'm going to recommend you. Let me get a date here really quick. I'm recommending you a move. I'm recommending you 2 things, actually. I'm recommending you a movie and then a remake of that same movie. Okay. And I've never seen the remake, and I'm recommending it to you because I want to see the remake.
That's fair.
So I am definitely going to watch both. If you don't get around to watching the remake, that's fine. I don't care.
Yeah.
I want to recommend you a science fiction movie from 1975 called Rollerball.
Okay, Rollerball.
Have you ever heard of Rollerball? This movie stars James Caan, who... This is one of his most famous movies, but if you've never seen this movie, you would probably know him best as playing Sonny in The Godfather, or from the movie Misery, the Stephen King movie.
Yeah, I recognize the actor. I have not seen this movie.
I think that this movie is fan-fucking-tastic. I absolutely love it.
And there's a remake from 2002? Is that the one you want me to...
Yep.
Okay.
I've heard the remake is a fucking pile of dog shit, so I want to watch it.
Okay, I'll watch it. I'll watch it with you. Let's do it. Sounds good. I'm looking at the screenshots from the remake, and it looks really bad. So,
yeah. the original movie is it looks like it's available on Tubi, and it is available for free on YouTube also,
Okay.
so you can just watch it that way. The remake, this is what I was telling you before, is that I double checked it yesterday, and as of today, the remake is being removed off Amazon Prime.
Okay.
So I don't know where it's going. I don't know if it's going to end up on another streaming service. I have
I'll
no
figure it
fucking
out.
idea.
I told you, I was like, don't
But
worry. I'll figure out how to watch it, if anything. No
yep.
big deal. Awesome.
But like I said, if you don't get around to it, that's fine. Um, but
Sounds like
I
a double
thought it would
feature, like
be
double feature vibe to me. Like watch both back to back, right? That's what I'm thinking.
I guess.
You're like, sure. No,
Yeah.
that sounds fun. Why? What's your reasoning for the recommendation? It's just a fun movie. It's just a good ass movie.
It's a good movie, and it's a commentary on classism, and I think that's relevant right now.
Oh well, I actually have something that is a commentary on classism to recommend to you. So that's even nice. Well, this one's more a commentary on greed and the rich. So
Okay.
it's a little more modern. It's from 2023. It's a TV show. It's a mini series by one and only Mike Flanagan called "The Fall of the House of Usher." Have you seen
Okay.
this?
I have not. Is this based on the Edgar Allan Poe short
Yes.
story?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
based on multiple Edgar Allan Poe short stories, kind of in one. So
Okay.
it's a little longer, so just watch as much as you can. I think it's like 7 or 8 hours long. So if you don't get through it, you don't get through it. Just watch as much as you can. But the story it's dark. It's incredible. The acting's really good. The gore scenes are just top notch. It has a really eerie vibe. Has really great actors in it. Just really sticks with you when you watch it. I think you'll really enjoy it. So that was my recommendation for you for you this next month. So
Perfect. I am a fan of Poe, so
you're gonna find
have
a
you
lot
read
of. Go ahead.
have you read much of his work?
I was like obsessed with it when I was like in my early 20s. So I read a lot of his stuff. So
Okay.
you're going to be watching this and you're going to be like, oh my God, that's that story. Oh, this
Right.
episode's about this story. So it's kind of like basically it's the fall of the House of Usher. Like the main like idea is that storyline, but they do like sprinkle in some concepts from his other like short stories too. So,
Okay.
and the main, go ahead.
I started watching there's a movie I'm in giant fucking quotation marks based on The Raven, the poem that he wrote,
Right.
starring Vincent Price from 1965, just called The Raven, and it is fucking batshit fucking insane. It's barely based on it, but it sports the same name, and Vincent Price says some lines from the poem in the middle of that movie. I didn't finish watching it. I watched like the first half of it and then just didn't get around to watching the rest of it. Weird fucking movie, man. I was really digging it. But I'm also a big fan of Vincent Price. Like he's one of my favorite classical actors.
Right.
He's done so many movies where he just kind of like monologues at the camera, but he was a stage performer. So like that's what he's good at. He's good at delivering monologues. So Price is awesome. He was a great actor.
The one chick in this show is Carla Gugino. You'll know her as the mom in Spy Kids. Of all things, she's in this, and she's fucking awesome, dude. Like, oh my gosh, she is so good in this. So the main premise is I'll read you the synopsis. Siblings Roderick and Madeline Usher have built a pharmaceutical company into the empire of wealth, privilege, and power. However, secrets come to light when the heirs to the Usher dynasty start mysteriously dying. And that's the premise of it. So, I think you'll enjoy it. You know Mike Flanagan. I mean, I'm sure he has a reputation of doing really great, like crazy out there horror stuff. So, I think you'll have a good time with it.
I might. It's been a while since I've read that short story, so I might go ahead and reread that also while I'm at it, just for the fuck of it.
Yeah, just see how it like reflects it and like tells it.
Yeah.
So
it's like Usher was never my like a go-to story for me to read I don't know. Like some of my favorites were like and the Black Cat is an
Black
obvious
Cat's good.
one. Telltale Heart
Mhm.
is great. Um those are probably the two that stuck with me the most. I know I've read House of Usher before. I'll probably reread that. It's short. It's like 30 pages or whatever.
I was like looking up some post stories. I remember reading the Pit and the Pendulum back in the
Yep,
day.
yep, yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of these. Like there's good ones. So, but yeah, so I just think this is like one of the better adaptions of Poe stuff. Like you're gonna have a good time with it. So yeah. Well, I don't know if you're gonna have a good time. You're gonna enjoy it. It's kind of dark and somber, but you know that's what you
Yeah,
can
that's
expect.
fine.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, but yeah, I'll watch Rollerball. That looks cool. Oh, I don't know much about it, but I like going in blind for stuff like that. So let's do it.
Yeah, it's an interesting movie. And you don't watch much from the 70s, so I'm throwing you back in time.
No, I should watch more from the '70s. So why not? Let's do it. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a classic. It may not be like one of the most well-known movies ever, but it's really good. I really like it.
All right, awesome. Well, that's gonna do it for a monthly mishap this month. We've been going. This is our
Yeah,
longest episode for sure. This is even longer than our top 10 of last year. Surprisingly,
I
somehow.
know that's crazy. It's I
Yeah,
talked about like 25 movies, so that might be part of it.
that's fine. I had a good time. So you can find Chris. Where can they find you on the internet? Let's do a quick plug round here. Why not?
You can find me twitch.tv/scotch and hobbies where I stream from time to time nowadays. Not very often anymore, but whenever I get around to it, I get around to it. And you can find my other podcast, The Trash Station, anywhere you find podcasts, where I talk about video games with my friend Potomax, who emailed us earlier this episode.
This dude, that was on my top 5 podcast of last year. It's a good show. Should check it out.
Yeah.
I do a podcast called Indie Quest every other week with my friends Steve and Seth. It's a good time. Check that out. Also, you can find me on Blue Sky, Josh Leslie. You can also find the podcast, The Monthly Mishap, on Blue Sky, or like I said earlier, you can send us emails, themonthlymisshap@gmail.com, or send us a text message in the link in the description. So that's going to do it for this
Yep.
episode. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time.